Surprise! We're back. Welcome, everybody, to Pod What Happens Live. We are a Bravo podcast that covers all things Bravo, but we're really going to be focused on one really completely unhinged episode for the most part. We'll talk other things too of Salt Lake City. I'm your host, Katie. I'm here with my co-host, Kari. How are you today, Kari? Twice in a week.
Twice in a week, and I'm twice vaccinated today. I'm like a CVS
You got boosted
commercial over here. Oh,
wow.
Come on, camera. Yeah, 2 different color Band-Aids.
You got 2 vaccines.
I got the flu shot and the COVID vaccine today.
How are you feeling?
I mean, it definitely hurts to move my arm, but otherwise, invincible. I'm ready to take on all of
everything the fall and winter have
my way. Yeah.
Everything it's going to throw at you.
Yes. So
awesome.
That was my lunch hour. How are you, Kate?
I'm good. We were just talking. I got a new iPhone today, and I'm just sitting here with 2 iPhones that just don't turn. They just say transferring. So I'm just here. It says it's going to take 2 hours, so I got nothing to do. You know where to go.
Might as well podcast.
I
got 2 phones. You're like 2 chains. Don't ban us, Twitch.
Don't.
It wasn't even
I think
good
we're within the
rendition.
No, yeah. It was good.
So I texted you. When does this come out? On Tuesday?
The episode?
Right? Yeah, Salt Lake City's Tuesday night, right? So I don't watch it when it's live. So Wednesday morning I watched it and I texted Katie immediately afterwards. And I was like, I can't, because we weren't supposed to podcast again until next Saturday because I am going to Las Vegas next week.
And I'm going to fake Las Vegas this weekend.
Yeah, you're going
sad to New Jersey, Las Vegas, Atlantic City,
you're
also known as Atlantic City,
store brand Las Vegas. So we were like, okay, we'll just talk about stuff in a week and a half or whatever.
Yeah.
But I texted her, I was like, I don't want to wait.
No.
I need to talk about this episode right now.
Yes, immediately.
What was your first you finished watching the episode? What's your thought? What are you thinking?
Oh my God. What I can't believe what I just watched. That was really what I was like, what did I just watch? But I loved every second of it. This is the thing. They got me back.
Yes.
They got me back. And I'm so annoyed at myself for letting it happen because I know they're just going to bring me up really high just to let me down really hard again. But this episode was worth every second of it. It was from start to finish completely unhinged.
Top tier.
Housewives one of the best Housewives episodes of all time, I think.
Yeah. And so I have a friend who, I forget how it came up, but we have we're in a Discord together and she said something like, my friend will watch whatever show we were talking about, and I can't remember what it was, if I watch Salt Lake City. And I was like, Nen, I watched the best episode of Salt Lake City ever yesterday. And she's like, what? Oh my God, I have to watch it. And her and I have very similar TV taste. I was like, but here's the thing. She's like, oh, there's only 3 episodes. I'm like, here's the thing. You're not going to understand how great of an episode it is if you don't go through seasons 1 through 3 first. And so I gave her the lowdown. I'm like, season 1, phenomenal. First half of season 2, great. Second half of season 2, not great. Season 3, tarnished by Jen Shah.
One of the worst Housewives seasons, I think.
Yeah, it's just hard to take seriously because we all knew she was guilty for something she was pleading to be innocent for. But you really have to get through all of that to just understand. You might be entertained by the episode if you were to just watch this season, but to fully appreciate the 43 minutes of television we got to watch.
Yep.
You have to watch. You have to have seen everything.
Absolutely. And you did your due diligence. You watched twice. You took notes.
Did.
And tell me again, when's the last time you think you took notes on a Housewives show? Since before we rebranded.
Yeah. I was,
and even before then, we were all vibes. Yeah, we were all vibes.
I just felt like there were so many things that I didn't want to skip over that
I'm
I
thrilled
had
that you
to
did this.
do it. I committed to the cause.
I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled.
I just am so excited to talk about all of this.
Well, let's get into it. We pick up the episode right where we left off the last episode, and they are in Palm Springs. And the women are walking from, I guess, was it a sprinter? Yeah, they do their best work in a
Yeah.
sprinter van. Shout out to the sprinter van. The best, like, how many housewives are there? Six, seventh housewife of this show is the sprinter van. It delivers every season. And we'll talk more about the sprinter van later because a lot goes down in this van. And they're walking into Trixie Motel, and out come Whitney and Angie K. And then it just kind of like goes from there.
Yeah, it was kind of wild because like Trixie's like, welcome. By the way, the other ladies are here.
Yes. And
And
everyone's
it
like,
didn't even
ladies.
well, I feel like people didn't even pick up on ladies. They're just like, oh, they're here already. It didn't
Yeah.
seem like it was like, wait, ladies? Like that is plural. What is
Mhm.
going on? It didn't feel like that really crossed anyone's mind. More so they were surprised that like Whitney was already there.
Yeah. Yeah. So Whitney comes out. She's with Angie. And Angie, a lot of people are just like, oh, Angie. And Monica does an all-time like grabs Heather's arm. Was that this part in the beginning? She grabs Heather's arm. That was like, that's a reaction I would have done. Is just being like, and just like grabbing an arm. So I appreciated that reaction.
Yeah, no one was overjoyed to see her by any
No,
means, except
certainly
like
not.
Lisa probably had the most positive reaction.
Yeah, Lisa seemed like it was like no big deal. She was just like, oh, hi.
Yeah.
Hi. Where do we go from here? I mean, you have the notes. You tell me. I feel like from here, we just get some pool time and some
Well,
room.
the tour of the rooms, and
Yeah.
we see that Angie took the biggest room.
Yeah. I mean, that is so true. So Angie took the biggest room, not Whitney.
Whitney got like the suite, but Angie got like had the king bed. Like
The audacity to not even be invited on this trip and then take the biggest room is so wildly unhinged.
I would have I mean, given I'm not one like in my real life group of friends to care about that, but on
Mhm.
Housewives, like that is a staple. The person who hosts a
Yeah.
trip gets the main room
Oh, yeah.
unless they are doing something so graciously. We've seen
Yes.
like people give it up because like, oh, they're pregnant or they've
Luann
been
got
going through a really hard
married.
time
Yeah.
or something like that. But it still is usually up to the host to decide that that's happening. And so for you to
To get
not be
there.
invited by the host and then take the and she was like, I just had to. Did you?
Yeah,
Did
like,
you
did
have
you
to?
have to? Did you have to do any of the things that you're doing? I don't think so.
Angie did so much this episode.
So much. And we have to thank her for it.
Yeah, honestly, like
We have to
great
thank her.
TV.
Great
If
TV.
if it just I can't I rewatched it just a couple hours ago, so like it's all just very fresh and I can't take any of it seriously. So yeah, then that's when we get the pool time. After we find out that like
Mhm.
um we did see Meredith taking the room that has the pink bathtub because part of her
She
personality
needs a
this season.
bathtub.
Yeah, her and her husband have clean bathtubs and don't disgrace my family like that,
Yeah.
Whitney. Um
You come for my
so
family, you come for my bathtub.
we're not dirty.
Yeah.
We're not in my shoulder pads. So
Mhm, mhm.
Whitney and Angie are like out by the pool as everyone else is kind of like in their rooms. And Mary grabs some food and starts walking over. And Angie, like, just kind of being nice, like, oh, Mary, come on over here, girl. Come talk to us. And Mary's just like,
This is my
don't
favorite.
talk to me like that. Don't
I'm
talk to
not
me.
coming over there. Don't
I'm
talk
not
to me
coming
like
over there.
that.
Stop talking to
I
me
don't
like
like
that.
that. That was one of my favorite parts of the whole episode. Mary was like full of it in this episode, like full of them. And I
Yes.
have to say, I am actually thrilled that she's back. She adds something that we were really missing last season. I don't know what it is. It's like she's not a real person, but she's almost like the realest person out of all of these in some weird way. It's like she just says whatever she wants and she doesn't care. And I really appreciate that about her.
Yeah, I when I first watched this episode, it's like I appreciate what Mary's doing, but in the same way, she makes me just feel very confused because I just can't like support Mary as a human.
No.
However, if I think of her as like a fictional character. She's almost like a paid actor in this. Not that they all aren't, but like even more so. Like we brought Mary back simply because Mary is going to go out of her way to pick on Whitney for the entire season.
Oh,
and
yeah.
she's just gonna say shit bluntly, and it's almost, they treat her almost like she's like the 90-year-old senile woman
Yeah,
who
they
like
do. Like
it's
she's
like,
frail.
yeah, like she making some comments that could be seen problematic? Yeah, but like she's old, she's earned this. That's kind of like how
Right.
they approach her.
She's married to her grandfather. We have to let it go.
It's true. I should say also that so like my friend Nen is watching these episodes, and obviously right now she's like finding out that Mary is like fucking her grandfather. And
I don't know how much of that is going on, to be honest and to be fair.
She's probably at least fucked her grandfather once. Like I
Well,
can't
we know
imagine.
that for sure.
So that's happening. But something I didn't tell you that I also started doing is, and I don't know what inspired this, but I started listening to Giggly Squad from like episode 1.
Oh, interesting.
So they are also at the point where they just like Salt Lake City is starting as a franchise because
so they cover Housewives.
I don't want to necessarily say that they cover. It's actually like, I know that you saw season 5, Hannah, but seasons 3 and 4, Hannah, were a lot better. And post season 5, Hannah, also great. Her and Paige together are just hilarious. So they kind of do like segments. So, but they do talk about like, they are Housewives fans. They are Bravo fans. And so, and they don't talk about them in like, it's definitely from a fan way with a side of like, we understand you're on reality TV. We get it because we're also on reality TV, but they still have this like fandom type of approach to it. But so they're watching these same episodes of like the beginning, and they're talking about like Mary having sex with her grandfather maybe. And so I'm just like, there's a lot of Mary Cosby in my life right now.
Well,
a ton.
You're blessed.
Way more than I ever asked for in this, like month of September 2023.
Or this lifetime.
Honestly, this lifetime, you're right. But I just have a lot of her going on in my life, and somewhat mostly accidentally.
Yeah. Well, that's a happy accident, in my opinion.
So yeah, we've got Mary just like chirping up a storm. Then after that, Meredith comes out and is like, all right, we're going to do a trust building activity.
Well, she gives the gifts.
That's true, to everybody except Angie.
And she has ignored Angie this whole time. She like hasn't said anything to Angie, and she gives gifts to everybody. And she just walks by Angie like she's not even there. And Angie has the nerve to like get upset that she doesn't have a gift when nobody knew that she was going to be there. Also, these gifts were terrible, by the way.
I don't even know what they were.
It was like some ugly t-shirt, and like it was just like stupid.
Did I write it down? Because I was like, this could be a funny title for the podcast, and then I didn't even write it down. Like tricks, truth heals, tricks hurts, truth heals.
Oh my God. Yeah, I didn't even read the shirt.
I only did the second time. I didn't even realize it was a shirt, and you had to remind me. For Angie to be like making these snide comments of
and Monica was like, wow, that's like, take it down a notch. You're being really sassy to the host of this trip, which like she is, but also Monica's kind of doing a lot, but I'm not mad at Monica for doing a lot.
No.
I get a little annoyed with her later, but we'll talk about it.
I get it. I also think that like, if she didn't, who would? And so it's appreciated in a way where I do like that someone is calling her out, and the fact like, bitch, you weren't even invited.
Yeah, like
and you are running your mouth.
Like, it's really wild.
So
it's just funny to me that Meredith like ignored the fact that she was there and didn't say like, sorry, I don't have anything for you because no one told me you were coming. She just like kept it moving, ignored her total existence.
Yeah, and Angie being offended by it is just so strange.
That's so mad at Monica. So mad at Monica. But yeah, they do a trust building exercise where they go shopping and they get paired off, and they let the other people choose their clothes for them. So the pairs are Bad Weather, right?
Yep. And then Lisa and Meredith.
And Lisa and Meredith.
Monica and Mary.
Which like, please, I don't want to be in that group.
I mean,
Watching Mary Cosby is one thing, but being alone shopping with her has to be a whole other experience.
it has to feel like taking your grandma out on the town for like, like wait, so like when your mom's like, all right, can you like please go get lunch with your grandma?
Yeah.
You don't know how many lunches you have left with her. Like that's
Yeah.
the vibe it gave to me.
Yeah, totally. And I like that Mary's just like, yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not trying that on. I'm not wearing
I'm
that.
picking out my clothes
Yeah, I'm
and
picking out
her
my own
clothes.
clothes. Yeah. Which like Mary, I would say out of everyone did a decent job.
Yeah, she did. And I mean, honestly, what Monica picked for her wasn't bad either.
No, it actually suited her.
Yeah. They might have built the most trust during this
Probably.
whole thing.
Probably, yeah.
Everyone else kind of came out looking like a clown.
Except Meredith. Lisa did right by Meredith and like picked her a normal dress.
Yeah.
I mean, it seemed like all of these stores were kind of weird anyway, like vintage or like costumey. So, I mean, you could definitely find stuff there, but it's not like they're going to a department store.
Right. They weren't at Neiman and Marcus or whatever it's
No.
called.
They should have gone to that hat store, Kimosabe, that oh no, that's Aspen. That's not Palm Springs. I get my Kyle Richards mixed up. Her many homes, I get them mixed up. That's Aspen.
How dare you?
Mm-hmm. My bad.
I saw a TMZ thing that said TMZ wanted her girlfriend and her to also be on Dancing with the Stars with Mauricio.
This is so weird.
Dancing
and I'm
with the
shocked
Stars
they didn't do it.
Really trying to bring the drama. Who
really
knew?
Trying. They're like, we got to get up on this before Bravo does.
The waltz just isn't dramatic enough. Yeah. We really have to bring in these scorned ex-lovers.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, what the? I got to keep it moving. I can't read this article.
Yeah. Anyway, so back to shopping. So Meredith please.
Let's go back before we even
Let's
shop.
Go back.
Because at this point, we learned very quickly that the walls are very thin in the Trixie Motel.
Yes.
Because multiple comments are made in a short amount of time. Mary's like, Heather has such a big mouth, as Heather's like, welcome, Meredith.
Yes.
Whatever. But a few of the women are standing around and like Angie's complaining about how Monica called her out and Monica can hear it. And she's like, I can hear you from the Barbie room.
Yes. Yeah. She comes right out.
Good on Monica. You know what? Like, if you're gonna say it, say it in my fucking face.
Yeah, totally. Don't just sit at this like little tiny bar. No, nothing got resolved. Lisa was kind of annoying me a little bit here. And it's hard for me to say that because I love Lisa. But I'm like, how are you possibly taking Angie's side on any of this? How?
Yeah. I mean, she does call Angie the victim.
I know she does, which is really unbelievable.
She isn't fully in the Meredith Marks boat yet, but she does give a good old-fashioned effort.
Yeah, she sure does.
Later in the show.
She sure does. She deserves some props for that.
What did you think? So then they go shopping after this, and
Mary said the store smelled like farts.
Yeah. They were in like a different store than everyone else.
Yeah, I guess the other two were in the same store and they went to a different store, which again, like, please, I don't want to go shopping alone with Mary Cosby.
No. And then Angie decided to stick with Meredith and Lisa, which again, weird move.
Very weird move.
So were you as offended at Lisa's outfit as Lisa was offended at her outfit?
Yeah, absolutely. If I'm Lisa, I'm like, I'm not wearing this. She's like, I have to go to a 5-star restaurant. So for anybody who didn't see it, it's a black sheer long sleeve top with like a bikini top or a bra, hard to say, underneath. It's completely sheer. And then like a sarong, I guess, tied around.
Lisa described it a Middle Eastern dancer's skirt.
Yeah, that was a lot, Lisa. Yeah. I mean, I guess it had that vibe, but like, I don't know. But it had like those little silver discs in it, and if you like shook it, it would like yeah. But it was short. It wasn't long. It was not a long sarong at all. It was very short. It was like to her not even her mid thigh, her upper thigh.
It looked like something that you would wear to a day party in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Like.
Are you wearing that to the day parties you're going to? And
I am playing. My day parties are going to be in the bingo halls. They start new bingo session every odd hour.
Ooh, I should go play bingo tomorrow in Atlantic City.
Dude, I fucking love bingo. It is my favorite. There's a place.
Is this a
less
bingo
than-
focused trip? Are you going
I
for
mean,
bingo?
if every trip could be a bingo focused trip, I would make it be
Okay.
one. Really, it just came about because I like thought I was gonna take a survey, and I never take the surveys. But then they're like, okay, you can go on this trip for $250, or no, it's
Oh,
$230 for 3 nights in
that's
a
great.
resort. Yeah, absolutely. I just have to go to a 2-hour timeshare.
Oh, yes, you told me about this. You told me
presentation.
about this. Yeah,
So,
worth it.
absolutely. I'm great at saying no.
Worth it.
So, I will be going. We're going to the Las Vegas Aces, the WNBA team. We're going to their
Oh,
game
fun.
2 of the second round for the playoffs. I plan on playing a ton of bingo. I'm gonna see some friends. Lavelle's gonna see some friends, and that's really it. I might zip line down Fremont Street. My hairdresser
Oh.
talked to her yesterday, so we casually chat from time to time.
Mhm.
Wild, but anyway, she's like, "You have to do this," and so I feel like I gotta appease my hairdresser.
I get scared about ziplining because I've heard that people get bacterial infections from it and die. What is that one?
I got 2 vaccines today, so
Oh, yeah, no,
fine.
you're good. Yeah, you're covered. Okay, you're covered.
I'm
You're
locked
good.
and loaded.
Yeah. What is the one that starts with an M that's really bad?
Meningitis.
Yes, thank you. Yes. I've heard that one time, and that has stuck with me for the rest of my life. That one person got meningitis from ziplining, and I'm like, I'm never touching a zip line in my life.
Well, you might have to host solo from after next week because I think I can go in ziplining.
All right, well, I can't wait to hear about it.
Okay, sweet.
So anyway, so she has this little sarong thing
Yes.
on, and these like chunky black sandals, which I didn't know if Lisa wore those sandals, which they don't seem like something Lisa would wear, or they were like part of the whole outfit.
Yeah. It felt like no one took each other's shoes into account.
None at all. The shoes were all over the place. Which is why I can't tell, like, were those shoes they wore, or did they also buy shoes for the outfit?
I feel like those are shoes they wore, but I don't know.
Yeah.
We didn't get much of an explanation. The
No, we
shoes
didn't.
were kind of weird.
Questionable.
But I did like how Whitney explained hers. She's like, the top half of me looks like Kate Middleton, and the bottom half looks like a lab tech.
Yes. And she nailed it.
Yeah, she wasn't wrong. She was wearing
not wrong.
like kind of like a derby hat in a way on the top. And then just this like sheer white, like if you were trying to dress like a slutty lab tech, that's what she was wearing over whatever. And she was absolutely correct.
Yeah, totally. Totally. And Heather had a hat on and like a 90s.
I love cats.
Oh, I didn't even notice it said I love cats. Wait, that's kind of incredible. That's actually hilarious.
It was in like sequins. I love cats.
That's amazing. And she also had a very 90s like puffy patterned jacket.
Yeah.
Those jackets probably have a name. I don't know the name, but they probably
kind of look like a varsity jacket minus the varsity letter type of thing.
Yeah, and just like a 90s
style.
Yes, and just like a pattern on it. And I guess just like
Will
pants.
Smith pattern.
Yeah, that's a good way to describe it. And then Angie, I don't know, did Angie pick her own outfit?
Yeah, because it was Grecian.
Yes,
I picked this because
I'm done with the Greek. I'm done with how Greek she is. We get it.
And
she also had crazy shoes on.
Yeah, Meredith was like, this is more like a Greek tragedy.
Yeah. Honestly, as much as I don't like Meredith, she really carried this entire episode. On her back.
I wasn't necessarily like rooting her on.
Oh no, nor was I.
But she definitely brought the entertainment, knowingly or unknowingly.
Oh yeah, I think much of it was unknowingly. A lot of it.
And then we get like Lisa having a full like meltdown about her outfit, and she's like, "This is like The Shining. There's gonna be 2 twins that show up to my door and be like, this red rum. This girl's trip has gone from bad to potential homicide."
She's wild. Her confessionals have been good this season so far.
Yeah, she was like, I had my shopper in Milan send me clothes for this, and now I'm wearing this to a 5-star restaurant.
Yeah, she was really hung up on the 5-star restaurant when realistically it looked like they were eating in a backyard.
Yeah, nothing. I mean, maybe the espresso martinis were 5-star because they
Maybe.
fucked some people up. But
Ooh, yeah, they sure did.
Lisa was just not happy.
No, she was not. So we're in the Sprinter van on the way there. Does anything interesting happen in the Sprinter van on the way to dinner?
Not particularly.
Okay. Our one dull Sprinter van trip.
Yeah.
And we get to the restaurant and the espresso martinis start flowing.
And Whitney decides we're going to play a game.
Yes, we
Tell
get
us
2 games
something
from Whitney.
interesting about yourself. And the facts were so ridiculous. It's like
So lame.
Yeah, Meredith's like, I used to come to Palm Springs to see my grandparents as a child.
Yeah, and everyone's like, okay.
Heather, like, I've started liking birds. I bought a birdhouse with a camera in it. And then Mary goes, I had some sort of African bird. I can't even remember what it was.
Oh yeah,
but
I think she's African gray or something.
yeah, but this is why I can't remember the bird. Okay, do you remember the character Brian Fellows from Saturday Night Live?
Yes.
I saw Brian Fellows in Mary Cosby. If you don't know who Brian Fellows is, who's the actor that plays him? Tracy Morgan, right? So it was like Brian Fellows would be like on a talk show or just like in a conversation with someone, and he like worked with animals, and he'd be like, I'm Brian Fellows, and then he would like daydream about an animal talking to him. And it was just the way she said things and her talking about this bird that I just was like, this is the Real Housewives version of Brian Fellows.
That's
through
amazing.
and through.
That's honestly, it's fitting for this moment.
Both times. And it kind of like fits the bill for how this whole episode has gone.
Oh yeah. If any episode is like a skit from Saturday Night Live, it's this episode.
Oh, they could spoof the shit out of this. I just
don't even
how
think
much
you could write it. Yeah, you can't even write it. It was just so unhinged.
What would you add to it? They would just be doing like a recreation. I don't think you could add anything.
The way that it is, honestly. We don't need any change. No notes. We have no notes.
No. But here's where something got confusing for me.
Yes.
Monica's like, all y'all are lame.
Yeah.
I fucked my brother-in-law for 1.5 years.
Yep.
And it kind of just got, at least seemingly, like skimmed over. People were like afraid to touch it. Like, huh? What's sex? You had sex? What is that?
Wait, your husband's brother? Your what? And they were all like really hung up on the brother-in-law part of it.
The family
tree. Like how it was connected.
How did the sex happen between the garments, the undergarments that we saw last episode?
Yeah, we're all talking about these garments. I'm tired of talking about these garments.
It just seemed like no one wanted to engage in that. And when I saw it, my thought was like, if this came up with like this season's New York cast, we would be talking about it.
This would be the whole
5 to 8 episodes. Yeah.
Yeah, it would be the whole season. Of all people, I'm shocked that Whitney didn't like harp on it a little more, because I feel like she like loves drama like that.
She'll probably like hold it in her pocket.
Yeah, she probably will.
Be like, oh, but in the same way, it's hard to, because now this is the second time in 3 episodes where Monica's been like, by the way, here's like 2 truths and a lie. Like, I love rainbows. I have a Louis Vuitton bag, and I fucked my brother-in-law. It's like, well, I guess you don't love rainbows.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Guess you don't. And then we changed the game to warm and fuzzy and cold and
prickly.
Cool and prickly. Like yeah. Yeah. And it's essentially it would be like what I like about you and what I hate about you. Basically. Yeah. Here's what makes me feel warm and fuzzy, but here's what makes me feel like cold and prickly. Which is just asking for trouble. This is like when Marisol played that game.
Yeah. Like, who do you trust the least or whatever?
Yeah.
Nicole.
Yeah.
So we get Heather going first. You had to say about the person to the right of you. So
yes.
So unfortunate for Heather that she earlier switched seats with Monica, because she would have had to say something about Lisa, but instead it's about Angie,
her high school buddy.
Okay. I'm glad you said buddy, because that might be the best. I'm so confused by their relationship, because episodes 1 and 2, it's like we went to the same high school. We like didn't interact. She was with one group, I was with another. And then this episode, Heather's like, we were friends.
Yeah. I'm confused.
Since when? Since
Yeah, I
14
need to
minutes
know
into this
more
episode.
about this situation with Angie.
Also, like, it was high school.
Yeah, you guys are in
Politely,
your 40s. Grow the fuck up.
yeah, like you're being paid to be friends. Get the fuck over it. Find
Yeah, really, grow
different
up.
things to hate each other for.
Yeah, are you the same person that you were in high school? I'm not. Everybody
No.
needs to get over it.
So I was very confused. And she's like, we were friends. And now she just is all, she's like, you were all over Jen. You were all over Lisa. Which, was she all over Lisa? Was she all over Jen? I don't
I don't know. Not more.
Feels
Well,
like Heather's
Lisa
reaching.
was like, "You're all over Jen last year. Should we like not trust you?" Which no one's been more all over Jen than Heather.
No, she wore out the ride or die.
Yes. Yes. Wore it out.
So I don't know. I'm just very confused by that whole relationship
Me too.
because it feels like we're not getting critical parts of it to understand why there is this animosity, besides the fact that, I mean, I would actually just appreciate more if Heather said during that, like, yeah, I don't trust you. Like, why? Well, I have this gut feeling because on camera, you're saying things like, I Barbie
Yeah,
scissor
Barbie
kicked
scissor kick.
someone, but you've never said it to me. You've never
Mhm.
asked me. Like, but you'll go
Did
and
you
say it
Barbie
behind
scissor
my
kick?
back.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, I don't know. I was very confused.
Yeah.
Were you
Same.
friends? Were you not friends? Are you Greek? Are there
That
things
we
we don't
know.
know? Well, it's
That we
Heather.
know.
Maybe like Heather couldn't be your friend because she wasn't Greek enough. She was,
Or maybe Angie was too Greek and Heather was too Mormon.
yeah. Heather's a bad Mormon though. She probably a bad
Bad.
Greek too.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
It is around this time that Meredith's new accent starts appearing.
Which new accent? Because there's about 75 of
I know.
them.
The dialects, it's like when you go to England and you like people in the I mean, given it happens here, but I think it's just because like we're kind of used to it. Like you hear different people from like different parts of like England have like different accents as you like travel more north.
Mm-hmm.
And like I feel like Meredith was just bringing us on a train ride through the UK and just absorb the accent of the country land
Yeah.
around her.
That's generous that you think she actually had an accent that belongs in a place. But she did take us on a trip, that's for sure. She took us on a trip. She took us on a ride. We strapped in. Well, maybe we should have strapped in. We should have been warned that we needed to strap in.
Maybe. I just I was like, wait. At first, I was questioning myself. I'm like, am I hearing this
Oh
wrong?
no. I knew it was coming because of the preview. And in the preview, we really got the husband. And it was just so crazy that I don't know. I didn't know if it was going to deliver in real time, and it really delivered. It really
Oh,
delivered.
absolutely. So we don't get too much farther in like
Mhm.
the warm, fuzzy, cool, prickly game because we get
Well, we did get Monica saying to
right.
Lisa that she didn't like how she was upset about her $60,000 ring. And she's like, as someone who can't afford a $60,000 ring, I didn't want to hear about it anymore, basically.
Yeah,
Like, I can't afford it, so it like bothered me. And I gotta be honest, I gotta side with Lisa here. Like, that's not
same.
Lisa's fucking problem that you can't afford a $60,000 ring. I could not fathom owning a $60,000 ring, which means I really could not fathom losing a $60,000 ring. But I'm
Mhm,
not gonna say, Lisa, because I'm poor in comparison
mhm.
to you, you can't talk about losing your very expensive possession. Like, that's on you.
Absolutely. I agree. The one part where I did think that Monica had a point was when Lisa was like, "Well, I work hard," and she's like, "I work hard too."
Yeah.
Like, yes, it just some people's working hard ends up in a lot more money than others,
Yeah.
unfortunately. Um, but yeah, otherwise, like Monica, I if Monica had just made the point of like, dude, we've heard about your ring
Yeah, like, we
all
get it.
day.
We get it.
It's lost, but it's also insured, and so, like, at the end of the day, you'll be fine, but then when
Mhm.
she kind of like, "Oh, be aware." Monica, you knew
You
what you were
aware.
signing up
Yeah,
for.
you need to be aware. This is why Lisa's a housewife. Please, we
Right.
want her to act like this.
So, I've been team Monica a lot, but,
Me too, but
we
here I
gotta
was not.
disagree with our friends from
Mhm.
time to time. You don't wanna be yes
Exactly.
men.
Right, exactly.
Otherwise,
Exactly.
you're enabling things. And
Mhm.
Monica should understand that because she just, a few scenes earlier called out her friend for her behavior
Yes, exactly. It's
and
true.
will do so in a few minutes.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
So then we move on to Angie,
Mhm.
who should be the center of attention on the trip that she isn't invited on, giving a toast. And
Yeah.
she's like, I'm going to give a toast because as Greeks do, we love toast because are you Greek? We forgot.
Mhm,
But
mhm.
we like to do a Greek word of the day. And today's is, and I don't remember what it was, but
Oh, I wish
it,
I
it, tra-
remembered.
it translated to fake.
Mhm. Uh, this is so crazy to me because, like, who are you to come to this trip that you were not invited to and then have the nerve to not even be shady and call someone fake or call the trip fake, but to even say, I'm going to make a toast at this trip I wasn't invited to, at this dinner I'm not supposed to be at? That is really next level insane to me.
Yeah. Is she okay? She's an actual housewife this season, right? She's
Yes.
not a
Yeah.
friend of.
Mhm.
So, I don't know, is that like her
Maybe she wanted to get paid for the filming.
oh, right, because if you're not in the episode, then you don't get the
We learned
money.
that from Katie Maloney in the
Mhm.
Mexico trip for Sheena's wedding.
Right. Plus, I think she, like, couldn't get the money back on the hotel that she paid for anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, um, yeah, I was just kind of like if what I imagine happening at this point, like, if I was sitting at that table and that's how that started, my glass would go down and I would be pulling my sleeves up and I would be taking my earrings out because it's like, we're going to fight. Like, if you are
Yeah.
leading a toast off with this,
Yeah.
it's about to go down. And I think my little tiny fists are going to be finding some cheekbones because shut the fuck up. You weren't even invited.
Mhm. If I was at this dinner, I think I would be Heather, just
What?
drinking and kind of
Trashed
laughing.
and
Trashed and
making
laughing.
commentary.
Yeah.
Dude,
Uh-huh,
some of
uh
her comments were so funny
Honestly,
during this.
I'm out on Heather, but this episode, she kind of pulled me back in a little bit because just the way she acted at this dinner really made me laugh. It really made me laugh.
She was, like, making the comments that I was thinking of while I was
Yes.
watching, which I
Yes.
appreciated. So, yeah, we get, Meredith starts saying just, like, chirping back at Angie, and she's like,
Mhm.
"You're a user." I don't even know how she said, like, I can't mock it, mimic it, whatever, but the way she said I literally wrote, "The way Meredith said user," and embarrassing yourself. The whatever accent she had at that
Yeah.
time, whatever country, Carmen Sandiego was in that
In
moment,
that moment.
and she was taking on the accent for, like, "You're embarrassing yourself."
Yeah.
Like, what are you? Who are you?
She really started slipping in and out of, like, sanity? I don't even know if you could call any of it sane, but, like, I don't know what was going on there. It was a lot. It was a lot.
So they're going back and forth, right? And then at this point, Meredith decides that she doesn't like how Angie is acting.
Mm, mhm.
Security, security. I am the hostess of this dinner. I do not like how she is acting. Take her away. And
But it wasn't
he's
security.
that is their server.
It was the waiter, and he was like, okay, okay." She's like, "I'm the hostess of this dinner." She was really on another level, and she's just screaming, "You can leave. You can leave," at the table. Oh my god, it was so wild. It was so wild.
If the editors had like um put in lasers coming out of her eyes during while she was
Oh, I
saying
wish
you
they
can
did
leave,
that.
I would have I would have peed my pants, I think. Like it
I feel
was
like she had a break, like a mental break, like as Heather said about.
I was gonna say, okay, Heather.
Yeah, or should we
D-
call an ambulance?
Terry, do we need to call someone?
Is she having a mental break?
It was she got up, she went and like waved down this server, and of course
This poor
Heather
server.
is like, the only thing he can get you is like bread and butter and maybe some water. He's
Yeah. She's like, "That man is not security."
She's like, I'm 5 espresso martinis in, and even I know that's not security.
Wait, okay, so listen, I have to talk about the espresso martinis for a minute. And I don't know if we talked about this last week or not, but I feel like people drink martinis as if they should be having more than 2 and that it's acceptable. But like, I
Right.
feel like I've been hearing so many people getting trashed off of martinis that I'm like, guys, it's meant for one or two, and then you move on to something else. You can't have your whole night. You'll end up like we see Heather.
Yeah. She definitely had at least 3 because when she was like,
I
"I'm
think
just gonna
she had
stack
more than
these
3.
glasses over here." But
Yeah.
also, I get that, like, it's a TV show and we know that she's not driving or whatever, but you're clearly over-serving someone if you are giving them
Yes.
their maybe after 3. Like, if you're
Yeah.
giving someone their 4th martini in a seated dinner
Yeah, you're just asking for trouble.
as like professionals, as a restaurant, as a 5-star restaurant, I know you guys have to take your Bassett certification and you have to I date a bartender.
Mhm.
I know you have to like take courses on this. Like, I don't know. If Bravo turned around and was like, "Hey, 5-star restaurant, you need to pay the cleaning
Oh,
fee
yeah.
of this Sprinter van," they might have a point. Why is she drinking that like it's water? Who
Yeah,
is keeps
it's
serving her?
someone needs to step in here and be like, "Okay, why don't we shift? Maybe have a glass of wine or water would be
Did
good."
I know
A
you're not a Taylor
water.
Swift fan, but did
I'm
you see
not.
like her at the VMAs, her manager came over and like made her swap out her drink for a water?
No, I didn't see that. My
Every
if I could have one wish on this planet Earth, it would be to never have a crowd shot of Taylor Swift at an award show ever again. Ever
and
again.
why we're different is I would love a picture in picture of just what she's doing at
Oh,
all
I
times.
can't I cannot take it. I can't take it. It actually enrages me more than like most things on this earth.
She's just having a good time. Let
Mm,
her live.
mm,
Yeah, her
no.
manager came over and swapped out her water.
Should have taken her
Listen,
out of the building.
I'll highlight this because Francis is on your side. How can someone want that
Oh, I know.
easily? Like, have you met me?
But
I
haven't you seen it all already, Carrie? She does the same thing at every award show.
did she pretend to shoot a basketball at the Grammys? No, she did at the
Oh, God.
VMAs. It was part of Demi Lovato's song. She was like doing interpretive dance to the song. Did she grab Ice Spice's hand? Did she lose a $12,000 earring and have people help her look for it? Like she was Lisa Barlow?
Well, up
No.
your game.
We
Up your game, Taylor. You need a
we got to
$60,000
see
earring next
all of
time.
that at the VMAs.
Mm.
So
All I cared about was NSYNC.
she got the award from NSYNC.
I do. I know that. I know that. It's true. I had to see her at that moment.
And she was like trying to bully it out of them. Like, there's got to
That
be
was the only
something
time
more
I was ever
coming.
on her side. I was like, okay, get the information because we
If
gotta know
anybody,
at this time. Someone that you have to tell us. What are you guys doing? What are we doing? Tell us.
what if they were just like, yeah, we're actually dropping an episode of Hot Ones next week? Like, what if that was their big announcement?
I could spend 45 minutes talking about that episode of Hot Ones, but let's get through this.
I haven't watched it yet. I plan on it, but I've been trying
I
to catch
wanted
up on
more.
Love is Blind before this new
Mm.
season that came out today started. That show is wild. Anyway, so what were we saying?
Oh, we're right in the height of Meredith losing her mind.
Oh yeah. So then Meredith is like telling her, you can leave, and Angie like,
She's just like, I'm not leaving.
yeah, I
No,
will
Meredith,
give
I'm not
her
leaving.
some credit here to have Meredith drunkenly, accentedly yelling at you, to not raise your voice and like not really escalate it and just reply. Good on you. I think it'd be very easy for that to become like a full-on screaming match, and
Yes.
it didn't.
I don't know how I would respond in that moment if someone was yelling at me like that. I might be like, is this a joke? Like, are you really screaming at me like this? Like, is this really happening?
I would have called out her fake accent. I'd be like, who?
Yeah, I would be like, well, you're clearly trashed.
Yeah, like, are you quoting a TV show at me right
Like,
now?
what's
Like, what?
happening? Are we?
Yeah.
Is that a
So,
thing?
I don't
Are they British in Bridgerton? I don't know.
know. You're asking the wrong person. My guess would be yes. It seems like a British thing.
Yeah, right.
But
It sounds British. Is this
yeah, they
Downton
were.
Abbey?
Yeah, there you go.
Thank
That
you.
I'm confident.
The Crown?
It's
Are we in the
British.
Crown?
Is this Geordie Shore? I know that was British.
More my level.
So yeah, Meredith gets up And Lisa Barlow goes and follows her because
Lisa
she
deserves an award here.
pledges to be Meredith's friend. They're turning a new leaf. They are starting a new book. But then in her confessional, she's like, Angie is the victim here.
I mean, it's in what way do we feel Angie's the victim? I don't think either one of them is a victim, I guess, is the thing.
No, I don't think anybody's a victim.
Yeah.
But okay.
This is where we get a beautiful monologue.
Yeah, Meredith just
beautiful.
I didn't write any of it down.
I just know she said, "You want me to go there?"
Oh, wait, I did.
Okay, great. Okay, great.
The rumors. I spelled it REW-MERS. Rumors.
REW.
Rumors. And then I put a dash to show like the separation of syllables.
Yeah.
MERS. Rumors.
Yeah, I think that's accurate.
Yeah, the rumors about
the
her
rumors,
husband.
The rumors.
And then the way she said "fuck off," like she could "fuck off" in an accent as well.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the fuck off. The way she says her husband really kill. It's like she says her husband in like one. I don't know. I can't take it. It's just I want it on loop at all times around me. It was so insane. It was so insane.
And Lisa's just like, we've all had some hard times. Things have been weird. Let's just go back. It'll be okay. And at this point, they like cut to Heather and she's like, fresh powder, fresh start, right? And just like making
well, she said it was Whitney's fault.
Yeah. Oh, so yeah. Supposedly it's Whitney's fault. Fresh powder, fresh start. And she's like, yeah, Meredith left with her accent.
Yeah. Yeah.
And at this point is when she turned her I love cats hat to the side, fully embracing the Will Smith look of her outfit. Heather was just on one, and it was it was a perfect one to be on at this dinner.
Yeah, she was in the perfect headspace. She's in the headspace everyone should have been at in this dinner. Meredith also keeps saying something about people being disabled for the rest of their lives.
That's when she came back. So she hasn't come back yet. So now Meredith comes back and Angie is like, listen, Meredith, I just want, and Meredith's like, I can't be here. There's children that are going to be disabled for the rest of their life. And there's just bigger things for me to worry about. She just like starts sobbing and Whitney calls her on it. Whitney's like, I feel like you always come up with this extraneous situation. Like your dog's or your like best friend's dog died or someone intentionally served you cold dinner 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Which I feel like she isn't wrong.
She's
can't
not
ever
wrong.
Go against Meredith without her being like,
yeah, there's always something.
It's the people that are like, you're not going to finish your plate. They're starving kids in Africa.
Right.
Shut up.
Right.
What are you going to do? Mail my leftovers? Get out of here.
Exactly. Yeah, this was a weird turn. We were watching this and I was like, what did she just say? Like, what? She's talking about disabled children? Like, what is happening here?
Something we clearly don't know about, and it comes up again next week because it's in the preview of Meredith yelling at her, like, how dare you turn like a child who could be disabled forever against me and saying I'm weaponizing it or whatever. Like, you're weaponizing it. Like, why don't we just lay the weapons down?
Yeah, everybody drop your weapons.
Yes.
Drop your weapons. Yeah. I agree with you, though. I don't disagree with Whitney here. Like, she does do that a lot. But Whitney, I think her timing is really poor with a lot of this stuff. Does she say that at the dinner or she says it in the van, in the Sprinter van?
She says one thing at dinner, but like it continues in the van.
Yeah.
Because then that's when but like the stuff that continues in the van, it's like as they kind of pull up because Meredith leaves, but it's still Whitney, Mary, and Heather in the van. And that's when we get this all-time scene from Mary.
This is also my favorite Heather Gay moment of all time.
Yes, this is when yes. Okay, so Whitney is like kind of calling Meredith out or whatever, and Mary's like, who are you to be saying anything? I know what you said about me. You need to take ownership of your actions. And Whitney's like, I do take ownership of what I do, which I'll agree with Whitney. For the most part, she is like, yeah, I did that. I did that. I shouldn't have. I did that. And she
The
even
thing
like
that I
tried.
don't like about Whitney though is that she's like a Rinna where she'll be like, yeah, okay, I said that. And what? And she uses it as an excuse to act like an asshole because she's like, well,
Yeah.
I own it. I owned it. So I can be an asshole because I owned it. It's like, that doesn't excuse you being an asshole. It's just like you're owning up to the fact that you are an asshole.
Right. And Mary goes, well, you were calling me a pornography.
Yeah. And she's like, what? I didn't say you do porn. I never said you do porn.
Well, it took Whitney at first was like, what's a pornography?
Yeah. She's like, what are you talking about?
I never said that about you. I never said you do porn. And she's like, why would you say that? And she's like, well, what do you mean? And then Mary
this
goes
is my
like,
favorite Heather moment.
Yeah. She's like, Heather, what'd she say about me? And Heather
is like dead,
drunk in stupor, and she
so
goes,
drunk, so sick.
She called you a predator.
Yeah, she's like, the predator. And I'm like, she even out of her mind, she knows exactly what Whitney said. And they're like, Heather, what'd you say? And she's like, she called you predator. It really just made me laugh. I'm like, this bitch is out of her mind, drunk off of like 800 espresso martinis, and she knows. Oh, it made me laugh.
It was so good. And at this point, like, Mary leaves the van, and then Heather's like begging Whitney, like, get me a basket. I feel really sick. And so she does, and they close
the
van
driver
door.
knocking on the door.
Yes.
And it's I just felt so bad for this woman. She's probably like, I just want to get the fuck out of here and leave with these psychos. And is Heather vomiting or is she pissing herself?
No, she's vomiting. We see it. Yeah, she's throwing
But like,
up.
it looked like a full stream.
I don't know.
Maybe both. I don't know.
I never really need to see vomit on TV. Like,
No.
I hate the gross eating challenges
Me
on
too.
any reality TV show. So the noises are enough. And like, Whitney went sprinting from the Sprinter van because it was also enough.
Yeah,
for
she
her.
almost started vomiting. She was like gagging as she walked out.
Like empathy, throwing up. Like, it's like when someone else cries, I cry. When someone else throws up, I throw up.
Yeah, I feel like as a person who has been very drunk in the past, as all of us have, I'm sure, at least once, you just have to leave people like that alone and let them be in their space until they feel like, and it's going to take forever. She's going to be in that van all night, surrounded by her vomit, until she feels like she can actually get up and run into the house and pass out in her bed. She lives there now. She lives there now.
If you don't have like the right people to be able to like literally carry someone.
Yeah.
No, that's your voting, like that's your permanent residence, like register to vote from that that Sprinter
get your mail forwarded.
Yeah.
That's it. That's your residence.
That's where our episode ends. It was just wild from beginning to end. And it's the perfect level of drama because nothing is too dark.
There's no stakes.
Yeah. Everybody can come back from anything that happened this evening.
Yes. Meredith was on Watch What Happens Live after this with Julie Chen, which is weird. Yes, she's promoting her book.
Like,
but first,
two people I never need to hear speak.
Yeah, and Julie, honestly, like, Julie and Andy know each other. They worked together. I don't know if they interned or they paged or something together at CBS, like back when they first started their career. So they go way back. But Julie, I have to imagine, has only watched one episode of this show. And she was like giving commentary on it. It was kind of, I don't want to say it was funny, but it was like, Julie Chen is funny in a way that like you're laughing at her, not with her. But Meredith, I have to say, once again, didn't have a huge sense of humor about herself. But Andy also said the resident husband, like he made the joke about her accents, and she was just like, there might have been some cocktails involved. And I'm like, you got to be able to say this was an all-time unhinged moment of mine because I was hammered. And listen, I gave you great TV. What do you want? And I don't feel like she did that.
Of course she didn't. She takes herself so seriously.
Yeah, too seriously.
Nothing to take serious. Like, there's nothing no talent, no like sense of humor, nothing that it's like worth taking her seriously for. She is just a woman who has been on her 4th season of Housewives and honestly has been, because she's so like miserable and unenjoyable as a human keeps her place, because you know that she's just going to like add this level of negativity that people are going to engage with that causes drama. That's why she's the Eeyore of Real Housewives.
I also think she has Lisa Barlow to thank for the fact that she still has a job, because if we didn't get that hot mic moment from Lisa, we would not have had a third season of Meredith, I think, because she really didn't give us anything in season 2 other than that bathtub. She does have a bathtub with that crazy bubble beard that she had when Jen went to prison. But I don't feel like we got anything from her that would have like secured her third season until we got that hot mic moment. So we needed to like see how they were going to work it out. Yeah. So she should be saying thank you to Lisa, but I will say she's clocking in this season.
Except like she won't take credit for it.
Right. I know. One thing that Angie said to her was something about how she rents her whole life, which yes. And she said that her jewelry has cobwebs on it because she doesn't, I guess that's about her store. She doesn't sell anything. I want to know more about Meredith's store and her business.
I've seen things on Reddit that like it's not well put together.
Yeah.
And that it's just like, another day, another dollar type of thing. Like you aren't getting anything special by going there.
Yeah. Well, I'm not surprised by that. I know Heather also gave a confessional this week about Meredith's blazers. And I was like, thank you for calling attention to this. We need to be talking about this more. We talked about it 2 weeks in a row. I think we talked about it. And I'm glad that Heather's finally like, do you think Meredith wants to be wearing this 5-button double-breasted blazer at all times? And I'm like, thank you for calling it out. Because it's every outfit.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Lisa just didn't throw one into the outfit she picked for Meredith just to make her feel comfortable.
I know, it's true. What Meredith did say on the show on Watch What Happens Live was that she did pick out a real outfit for Lisa. And she was like, Lisa was a good sport. She put this on. She didn't even try the other outfit on. This was really a joke. Like, it was a joke outfit. But she ended up wearing it, which she didn't seem like she's been a great sport in the moment. So like, what is the truth here? I don't know. But she said there was another outfit that Lisa didn't even try on.
Lisa played her.
Yeah.
We make Meredith seem like the bad guy yet again.
Yeah, for sure. Well,
and next week's preview is that Lisa doesn't want to do drag makeup.
Yeah, what is that? Why? She's having a meltdown over it.
I don't understand it. If you wear makeup, then I don't understand. Like, maybe it's like building on the fact that she thinks the twins from The Shining are gonna come kill her or whatever. Like, it's just like an extra level of this. We have more Mary and Whitney going at it, and then we get Meredith and Whitney going at it. So
all in costume. I feel like they're always in a costume.
Yeah, well, Whitney and when Meredith is yelling at her is in like the drag makeup, but Meredith isn't.
Yeah, and I don't know what's going on.
Mary's always dressed as someone who is married to her grandfather, so always a costume there.
Yeah, always. Well, I have to say, at every turn, my expectations are blown away by this season. They started with a good first episode, and I was like, I'm cautiously optimistic here. I'm going in. I'll give it like what did I say? Like a 5?
I think you might have given it a 4. And I gave it a 6.
Okay, yeah. I think I was really down just because I felt burned. Oh, yeah.
Our hater was like, you gave it an average of a 5, which like, good math. Proud of you. But
to be fair, what we had said in that episode was, how excited are you? We didn't rate the premiere. We said, how excited are you for this season?
Yeah. And
I was on a rating.
It was like dependent on how much more Jen Shah we get, because the main character of episode 1 was Jen Shah.
Heavy. Yeah. So they're blowing my expectations away. I will say when I was wrong. So far, I mean, we're only 3 episodes in, but so far, seems like we're really off to the races here. So, but we started off to the races in season 2, and then it ended on a not so high note. So we'll see how it goes. But so far, I'm happy that it's back. It feels like it's true to form again of Salt Lake. Season 1 smells like hospital. It's like as unhinged as all that stuff without Jen. And I'm glad that the ghost of Jen seems to not be with us as heavily anymore. See, episode 1, it was a lot. She did come up this episode, but Lisa, was like keeping it real with Heather, saying, should we not trust you because of Jen? And it's just like, okay, good. We're talking about Jen the way we should be talking about Jen.
Yeah, we put the Ouija board away. Ghost of Jen Shah.
Exactly.
Take a break.
Yep. Take a break. I'm gonna watch it again, I think. I need, or at least that dinner scene again.
Yeah.
That deserves to be in like history books of housewives.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that like it won't like gif or meme well.
I know it's true. It won't. Well, Meredith's face in that moment was very
yeah.
Yeah.
But no one's gonna. I just feel like it won't carry the same message as it does in like the moment of the show as it would be if you like saw it on your Twitter timeline.
Yes, for sure. It's no Amsterdam of Lisa Rinna breaking the glass, which I think is maybe the one dinner scene that's my number one dinner scene in Housewives of all time is Amsterdam. And Kyle running out the door. That was so I hate Kyle so much. And this might be number 2 for me.
Yeah, it was very good. And you have so many dinners to choose from. So to
so
like
many
be up there is they did it. They did it big.
They did it. They're in the Housewives Hall of Fame for me right now, I have to say. Anything else on Salt Lake? We're going to cover OC since we're both caught up and we could talk Below Deck. And we're going to talk Traitors. Even though this is a Bravo podcast, we have a lot of Bravo lebs and it's on Peacock. So it fits. It fits. Where do you want to go next?
It'll probably eventually show on Bravo anyway. That's what they did with this last season of Traitors. Like
they aired it, right? Yeah. Where do you want to go next? Unless there's
Orange
more,
County.
So all right, let's go to Orange County. We're in Mexico. Lots of trips happening.
Yeah,
with these ladies. Everybody's on a trip. New York is on a trip. Mexico's on a trip. OC's in Mexico. They're on a trip. Salt Lake obviously is on a trip. And we pick up at that brunch.
They're like a lunch type of thing. Yeah.
Later in this episode, they talk about how bad the water aerobics was. And they're like, I can't believe we did that this morning. No, we saw it in the last episode.
Did?
It was in the last episode where they told the guy to leave. They were like, okay, we like you, but like, you have to go. And I was like, how was that this morning? I feel like so much has happened since that happened that it's the same day is crazy. But we had if Salt Lake City wasn't as explosive and wonderful this week, I think this is also a pretty explosive and wonderful episode of OC.
Yeah, I thought we were blessed with 2 back-to-back days of solid Housewives content.
Even New York was good this week.
Yeah. Yes. So we're doing well over here.
We are doing well.
Yeah, we were at like that brunch afterwards.
Yeah.
Because where it left off was Jen had like walked away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we picked up.
Yet again, we're talking about Ryan having sex with other women.
Yeah.
But I liked how it was like someone said to Tamra, maybe it was like Emily. She was like,
I think it was Emily.
You didn't need to bring up like these other women she may not know about.
That might have been Gina, actually.
Well, no, Gina was after because I specifically wrote it down because Emily said that and Tamara's like, ooh, yeah, you know what? You're right. Like maybe I didn't need to, but you can't be my friend if you can't, I don't sugarcoat things. If you can't accept the truth, you can't be my friend. And Gina's like, maybe sprinkle some sugar on things from time to time.
She's another Rinna to me, Tamra, because I feel like it's just a case of, and I don't think Whitney is like Rinna in any other way other than just like stirring shit up and then being like, I owned it. I don't think she's as much of an asshole, but I do think Tamra is a true asshole of a person. And it's just like, well, that's just me. I don't sugarcoat it. That's who I am. And I'm like, I just don't like people like that. Like, you don't have to be nasty and just be like, well, it's just me. But she said to Vicky, you ruined my life.
Yeah.
Or something. And Vicky's like, okay, hold on, bitch. I didn't ruin your life. Vicky, this was I'm sorry. This was a great Vicky episode. And if we didn't have Vicky on this show in this episode, what would we have? She got a happy ending. She was talking about sitting in a froggy pose, getting finger blasted from a masseuse in Mexico.
I don't know if it was necessarily finger blasted.
What else? Like he just flipped it in. What else? And they were like, just the hand? And they were like, yeah, just the hand.
Yeah.
She's like, froggy pose. I just put my feet up. And I'm like, is she really talking about like actually getting fingered during a massage? That's what she's talking about.
It happened twice.
Once in Laguna Beach. My favorite later on when they're at the dinner Heather brings it up to the full table because this was like they broke up and they went. Some of them went parasailing, some of them went to a shaman, and
No, the shaman was later. They went.
Oh, I thought they broke up and they did.
They did, but that was the next. They broke up twice. So.
Oh, they swim with turtles.
Yes, because I wrote down I like turtles. Do you think that Emily and Gina were like purposefully quoting?
I think so.
And that
also,
like
Gina
no
was
one
usually
else
so crazy with her hair in that scene, by the way. I don't know if you picked up on it.
It
But
didn't register. I was trying to figure out if they knew that they were quoting the I like turtles.
I think Gina must know. The
Yeah,
way
I
she
think
said it,
she
she was
did.
like, I like turtles. Like she sounded like
Yeah.
a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I wrote that down because I was like, I don't know if they know. There's a chance they don't, but
That feels like a meme they would be in touch with. It's kind
at
of
least Gina
old.
and Emily.
Yeah. Yeah, those two for sure.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. The shaman was later. And what else did the other ladies do while they were at the shaman?
Parasailing. Oh, shaman was a shopping excursion. Remember they like had to take their shoes off and stuff to go shopping. Also,
yes.
I'm gonna open my window because I am like dying in here, so I can still hear you, but you can keep talking about Vicky getting fingered, I guess.
Yeah, okay. Nothing I would love to do more than talk about Vicky getting fingered. No, well, also the reason I say that Vicky was an essential part of this episode is also because when they were parasailing and the way she was screaming like a maniac.
Yeah.
You're not going to get moments like that from any other housewife other than Vicky Gunvalson. Victoria Gunvalson, she has two names, Vicky or Victoria.
Mm-hmm. I did think it was funny when Heather was trying to calm her down. And so Heather's like, okay, let's think of Kodo insurance, staplers, sticky notes. Like,
yes, that actually was funny.
It made me laugh.
I hate to say it, but I'm a little on Heather's side on some of this episode. And you know how much I hate Heather, but it's just a little too much, I think.
There's moments where I think the overall idea of Heather is that like the women are correct. And I thought of you when I watched this both the first and second time, where you were like, Taylor's doing great. Taylor, especially in one-on-one situations, is doing amazing as a housewife this season. And Taylor like calls her on her shit, and we can get to that. And I agree. But there's moments where I think Heather is right, where like if someone else said the same thing that she did, it wouldn't have been as big of a deal. But like, I think there's also the other side of it where Heather does make these either like calls other women out on their comments, like calling out Emily being drunk and saying she's all these things or whatever.
She's a hypocrite for sure.
Yeah. Like she would need to let some of those things go in order for other people to let some of the things that Heather does go. But there are instances in this episode where I'm like, Heather's kind of right, like in this exact moment, but I'm still more like overall team everybody else.
Yeah, I'm not pro Heather by any means necessarily, but I do feel like she said something at some point where she was like, I'm over the word policing. And I'm like, they really are jumping on everything that she's saying. And it's, I just think they need to read the room. Like when Shannon at the end, I know we're kind of jumping around a little bit, but when Shannon at the end of the episode at that dinner or whatever, lunch, whatever they were at, which I could also talk about Shannon walking on the net for like ever because that was so wild to me. But it's just not the time to bring this stuff up. Like she's obviously already at her breaking point with everything and these women. And even earlier, Shannon was like, oh, I haven't even had my conversation with her yet. And it's like, maybe wait until you get home and have it a one-on-one. Maybe instead of bringing it up here, which then we wouldn't have housewives, right? But I understand why she hit her ceiling at that moment.
Yeah. No, I think like though her reaction was a bit much, like I hate these women, blah, blah, but I do understand, like, especially I'm sure in an environment like that where you have to be filming and you have to like pull a Kenya maybe and get sent to the hospital so you can get some peace and quiet.
Oh my God, or a Vicky special. She always goes to the hospital.
That's true. She's like, I can't walk across this net. I'll end up in the hospital. And I was like, that's actually true.
So true. It's honestly
more
so
often
true.
than not.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just like the reaction. There's a lot that I just think is over dramatized on a lot of people's, like from a lot of people in this, but yeah, there was instances, and the part that you're speaking of specifically, I was like, I'm actually on Heather's side for this one.
Yeah. I know, and I hate that they're putting me in this position, ladies. Um,
Well,
yeah, so we go swimming with the turtles.
yep.
Shannon can't jump off the boat, which I'm like, what's happening here? Like, what's going on?
You don't even
Although
need
I
to
would be
jump.
the same.
You
I
could
would be
you
the
could
same.
just you can kind of just like sit and tumble in. Like you don't
Yeah.
even need to jump. Like let gravity do its thing.
Right, just like flop in. You have a
Yeah,
life vest on.
yeah,
Or
you're
go
not
in backwards, like turn
that's like
around and like put your feet in. That's
yeah.
not yeah, that's much easier. That's probably what I would do.
Instead, she somehow manages to bruise up her whole arm.
I don't even understand how she did that.
Same.
Yeah. What goes on after parasailing? Do they just go back and get ready for the
They
next
have
thing?
no, they have another meal
They have
because
another meal?
well, this is where yeah, because this is where Heather brings up like the
Oh, they're
happy
in the
ending in front of
van.
everyone.
Oh,
And
yes, that's right.
yeah,
Oh my God,
and
there's so many meals in this episode. There's 3 meals in this
yeah,
episode.
there's a lot. I mean, hey, I like that they're eating the right amount
Me
of times
too.
per day. We
Yeah,
like
me too.
when we see people eating on these shows. Um, yeah, because Vicky, this is a moment where I was like, "Stop it, Vicky! You are turning into old Vicky," and like
Yeah.
your role as like fun drunk aunt right now is perfect for you. She's like, "Don't talk about this. Like, don't talk
Oh,
about
yeah,
this
I
at the
know.
dinner table."
I
Like
know.
old Vicky, and she's like, "I don't want to talk about sex. Like, why would you do that? That's disgusting." Shut up, Vicky. You just talked about getting fingered by a stranger, and you paid $40 for it twice.
Well, my
Like,
favorite thing was like, "How much is this massage?" And she's like, "$40." And I'm like, "How much do you tip?" And she's like, "A couple of hundred." That really made me laugh. Oh my God. I don't know. She's really we had the right time away from Vicky, but it just felt like I'm happy that she's here.
this is like her perfect role where the expectation is you're like drunk and ridiculous
Yeah.
because she can get away. Like, can she get away with this next part? Because this is at this dinner when Vicky's like, you ruined your family by getting a divorce
Yeah.
and like cheating on your husband. Like, you should have stayed together for the kids. You have 5 kids. You should have stayed together for them. And obviously,
Yeah.
Vicky's projecting. You can tell within the next two
I mean,
sentences
yeah. Yeah.
she's like, I had a great man, which like I guess good on you, Don, for finally getting your
She's
kudos.
saying it for the past few years. I think
Oh,
once
that's
she
good.
and Brooks were no longer together, she really was like, I should never she's been on Watch What Happens Live a bunch of times, said she should have never left on. Like, she's clearly still I mean, and she hasn't found some now she's with a guy, I guess.
Yeah.
They were on Watch What Happens Live, he was in the audience, and he seems fine, but, like, Steve Lodge was also a loser. So, I like that she's, like, admitting to that and just saying, like, "I left my family for a piece of shit."
Yeah. But her situation's also like her kids were full on adults when she
Right.
left. And so for you to make that comment when Jen is like co-parenting with
I
her
know.
ex in and out of the same house and like trying to that you are taking at 3 extra levels of
Yeah,
like
and you
digs
just
at
met
her.
this lady, like, you can't
Yeah, you don't
make
know
those
her.
comments, and
Everything
I'm
you
a firm
know is
believer of
through
never
camera.
staying Yeah. Yes, exactly, and I'm a firm believer of never staying together for the kids, like, that's
Oh,
not a reason.
100%. I like kids can sense it. And
Yeah, it's sometimes worse.
yes. I think more often
Most
than
times,
not.
probably worse,
Yeah.
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 So, yeah, no, I don't love that from Vicky at all, that she was like, "You should have saved your marriage," and then I think we got a little bit of, like, real talk from Jen of just like, "I wanted my marriage to work," but
Yeah.
I would like to know more about that, and I liked what Emily said about, like, "I adore you, but all I really know about you is Ryan. Like, Ryan is not you. He
Yeah.
doesn't define you. Like, let's get to know you. We'll be there for you whatever happens, but, like, let's move away from this and we'll get to know you," and I like that from her.
Yeah. That happened at their later meal. This is the meal
See,
where
housing meals, I don't they all
yeah.
blend together.
Gina defended her and she was
Yeah.
like, don't attack her. And Emily's like, she's not attacking. And Gina like still persisted. And like, sure,
Yeah.
attack might be a strong word, but at the same time, like, how many times has this come up? And
Right.
especially from Vicky, who like has Jen ever even spoken to her for her to
Right.
be the
She said
one
she
to
only met her at her party
yeah.
at one time.
So I liked that Gina stuck up for Jen in this moment. And I also think
Mhm.
it's kind of big of Gina for her to like I think Gina is walking the walk and talking the talk, because Gina came in being like, fuck you, you cheated, I was cheated on, like, you have to be a piece of shit, there's no way that I'm ever gonna like you. And she stepped back from that opinion, has gotten to know Jen, and she was like, Jen made a mistake, but that's not her, she's a good person. Then for her to stand up for her, like, I know we're not the biggest Gina fans on this podcast, but there's moments and like actions of things with Gina that I think are like highlights of someone that I just appreciate, in terms of willing to like be a good person, I guess.
I think far and away this is Gina's best season. I think this is Emily's best season, but Emily, I think, has grown more over the past few seasons, where last season I was probably one of the people calling for Gina to be let go the loudest. But I think I don't know. I think she's much better this. I don't know what it is. Maybe what I think I didn't like was that, like, how just firmly anti-Shannon she was, regardless of what the situation was, where I'm like, you're just like not budging here. And it's not because I liked Shannon. It was just because I'm like, you're just like really harping on this, and it's just old. Like, who cares? No one cares. This is boring. But this season we're getting a little more from her, and we're seeing her in a different light. And she seemed like she was Heather's like lackey last season. And I like that she's standing up for herself against Heather.
Yeah, I think she's also probably just in like a better place.
Seems like
in her life. Like,
it seems
she's
like
okay in her relationship and all this stuff, and is more removed from like the domestic violence, the cheating, the DUI, I mean, that's a lot.
It is a lot. She's been through.
So, yeah, Gina's definitely I'm respecting Gina more this season than I have in the past.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
And next is they're in like the living room-ish area, and this is when Vicky goes and sits down on a couch, and she like falls off of it, and she doesn't fall off, but like falls back. It's like, who doesn't put a back on a couch? Like, Vicky, it's called a chase. Like, these exist. These are very common, actually.
This is why I can't quit Vicky. This is why I can't quit her.
But she's in the drunk aunt role. She's perfect here.
Yeah, I don't need like a full storyline of her, but like bring her on every trip, bring her to parties. Yes. Like in the last party we saw her at, where she like kicked the bartender out of the bar and started opening the bottle of wine. Like, that's what I want. Yes. Like, I want this mess. I don't need like a full storyline of hers.
And we also find out that Shannon didn't bring a toothbrush and never went and got one.
Yeah, for days, right? Like multiple days.
It's like 3 days. Yeah. At one point we see that this is day 3 of their trip.
Yeah, it's funny to me that she's like advertising the fact that she hasn't brushed her teeth for days. Well, what did she say? She was using the towel or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, well, this place is like Disney World. There's all these trams. I didn't know where to even go to get it. Okay, Shannon.
Yeah.
I don't know what sentence I wrote next. It just says, connect with Emily about doing stuff. Way to be descriptive, Kari. You fucking moron.
Oh, I would love to know. Connect with Emily about doing stuff. I would like to connect with Emily about doing stuff.
Yeah.
She seems like a fun
time. Wait. I get it. I now know it. This is me saying I connect with Emily. This is where Emily saw or said, okay, you saying that helped me get there. Emily was saying, well, Tamara brings it up. I think they're in like their version of the Sprinter, saying that she has to talk to Eddie because Emily wants to do a body building competition or whatever.
Oh, I don't even remember this.
Yeah, and Emily's like, I just need something to go after because like I finished school, and then I went and like did law school, and then I went and got like I passed 2 bar exams, and like what's next? Like, I don't have a what's next right now. And I'm like, you're hitting too close to home as I start my next class in like 10 calendar days for my doctorate that I really don't need, but I'm getting anyway. So people have to call me Dr. Dahlia. Like, okay, Emily, like, we don't need to put this on national television. Thank you. So when she said that, I was like, I got you. I get you, Emily. Yeah. And now I understand the sentence that I wrote. Good job.
Yeah.
Yay. But this is where it comes up of we find out that Heather, well, Gina makes a comment like, well, aren't you glad that you accomplished Heather following you on Instagram to Emily? Because we find out that after Heather left the friend group last time,
got fired,
she unfollowed everyone because of FOMO,
I've heard that a lot of housewives do this though. Like I think Bethany maybe did this. Like this is a thing that the housewives do. They unfollow once they get off the show. I think Tamara did it. And this is what caused like the drama maybe. I don't know, maybe not, but
In one way, I support it because I love unfollowing people. My
I know
favorite.
you are a master at this.
I've done it while talking to you, like after a podcast.
I know.
We're sitting here. I'm like, why am
more
I
than
following
once,
this
I
person?
think.
And
Probably more
absolutely.
than once. Yeah. I wish I had the balls. I'm not ballsy enough. I follow people that I like.
Too.
Me too.
I've done it at least twice, but
yeah.
Of us, like, or I'll text you and be like, this was my last straw. This person, I unfollowed them. I just want you to know.
Yep. I love it.
My favorite way to do it is when I see that someone's birthday on Facebook and I wouldn't say happy birthday to this person.
This person.
I unfriend them.
Happy birthday. We're not friends anymore.
If I'm not even going to, at a minimum, like Facebook message you to say happy birthday, like we're not friends.
Right.
We're not. I don't need to see what you're doing.
The worst thing for me is if I'm looking at Instagram, so like just scrolling through Instagram stories and then everybody else is like reposting all of the birthday wishes that they've gotten. And I'm like, shit, they're going to see that I saw this and that I didn't wish them a happy birthday. So do I have to wish them a happy birthday now? But I usually don't. Sometimes I do. Most times I don't. But I'm like, am I supposed to like wish them a happy birthday now? Because they're reposting all of the stuff that says I clearly know it's their birthday.
Am I a bad millennial in that I can't tell you the last time I looked at like who looked at my Instagram story?
I don't look either. I don't care. But I know people look.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it's because like I've been in a relationship for 3 years, so I'm not seeing if like
who cares?
If the guy that given like I've never posted a thirst trap, so that can't be it. But sometimes, like something like that. Oh, I actually know the last time I like sub Instagram storied someone somewhat recently.
I love that. And you look to see if they saw it. Did they see it?
Not that I saw.
Damn.
Which is unfortunate.
That is unfortunate.
I should actually check to see if they still follow me because that's like one of the few people I kind of hate follow.
Oh, I love a good hate follow.
She we worked at camp together. She's a few years older than me. She's probably like 6 or 7 years older than me, but she is a teacher. And I don't know if you have this in like your field, but it is very easy to pay to get an award for something in education.
Oh.
It's like
not in the same way.
Yeah. So this woman does this and then like blasts it all over all of her social media. And so naturally I like Google the award because like I want to see what you got. It's like, like, oh, you got this award because
you paid for it.
You paid $2,000 to go to their like conference and you submitted your name to like, okay, cool. And so she's like that type person. And she posted during Pride Month, I think, the American flag and said like, this is Pride. Yeah.
Oh.
So no. I sub-storied her.
No. Oh, you should have
sub-storied.
You should have storied her.
There's people who knew.
There's
people who knew. So it was something where like I was hoping let's put it this way, that was like step 1. If something like that happens again, then I will just tag because at least I can say like, I gave you a fair warning to stop being a dumb bitch by like this first time I did it. And now I'm going to directly tell you you're being a dumb bitch. So
see, that warrants to me like a screenshot of her story in your story and then like a verbal altercation. Yeah.
That's like next time. I like try to give, like I'll give you one time to fuck up. Because also like you're a teacher. And so
like what the fuck?
During Pride Month, I don't know. So
gross.
Yeah. That's the last time I did it. It was June. But besides that, I can't tell you the last time I looked at or before that.
Yeah, no, I never look.
And so apparently this is like a huge deal to our housewives who follows them and who looks at their stories and stuff. And I did like that But you can kind of tell it. This is a generational difference between Gina and Heather, where Gina's like, do you know how I show my friendship? I like, I heart, I comment,
Yeah.
I do all these things. And like, that is kind of a part of being someone's
Yeah.
friend in this day and age. Like, you posted something about Orange Theory, and I was like, hell yeah,
I know
Katie,
you
let's
did. Thank you.
go. I love when I see
Yeah,
that
you
you
hyped
are
me
just
up.
getting after it. Yeah, like that's what friends do. And
Yeah.
I wouldn't have known that you did that if you didn't post on your story.
Right. I know I'm a
But
little obnoxious with it, but I
I don't think
agree.
you're obnoxious with it at all, to
Thank
be
you.
honest.
Thank you. No, I agree. I also think it's weird, like for Gina and Heather specifically, they were friends. And we know that they like saw each other off camera. So it's weird to
Yeah.
take like a full year to follow someone. And she's not, was Gina on Heather's first season? No. Right?
Back?
So you can't just no, her first season or her last season, I mean. No.
No, no, no,
Gina
no.
came out. So it's like you didn't
They're
unfollow her, you just never followed her. Because why would you follow her? She wasn't on the show with you. You're
Oh,
saying you
that's true.
unfollowed all these women that you were on the show with
Same with
because of
Emily
FOMO,
then.
but then yeah, like you guys weren't on the show together.
Great
So
detective
you
work.
just never followed them.
Yeah.
Where then like you also have been on the show for over a year now, right?
Yeah, this is her
You
second
only just
season
now
back.
decided, yeah, to follow who this person who is your friend. It's weird. And Gina is in her Instagram pictures
Yeah.
from
And
things
Heather
where they
tried
were
to
not filming. So I'm like, it's weird that she wasn't following her.
when Heather explained it to Taylor, she made a comment like, "Well, you know the blogs notice these things and like make
She's not
drama
wrong
out of
there.
it."
She's not
I
wrong.
agree, but then the other part of it was like, and someone said that by following so and so that it's going to make it seem like that person wants all my followers. And it's like,
That I don't
okay.
understand.
Yeah, like that doesn't make sense.
No, not at all.
So, yeah,
Not at
that
all.
became a whole thing, which like I didn't think was that. I think Heather took it more personally than she should have.
Yes.
But I also understand because of like where she was at in the point of like this series of events that have happened, why she just like escalated to like I hate this, fuck them, like I'm sick of
Yeah.
this or whatever. But as an isolated incident, just be like, yeah, you're finally cool enough for me to follow you. Like,
Yeah.
or not in a
Yeah.
way that, because, she would then be like, well, I can't say that because they think I'm better than them or something. But,
Right.
like you could have joked about it, laughed it off, and that's that.
Right.
What else is going to happen?
I also understand where Emily was coming from, where she said something like, that makes it look like you're up here and we're
Yes.
down here and we're just peons who are like following you. That I totally understand.
Right.
Because it does kind of seem that way. It's like they're following her because like, oh, we want to keep up with your life, but you act like we're just like if
She's a
I were following
celebrity.
Heather. Yeah,
Yeah.
like we were following a celebrity. But they work together, they're friends, they hang out. Friends, I use friends loosely, but like it's weird. I don't know. I would be frustrated. I would be annoyed by that too.
Yeah. I thought Emily had a great point there.
Yeah.
As well. It's like that's like having the same interaction as like, I don't know, like following Selena Gomez on Instagram. Like,
Exactly.
through her like, here we are.
Yep.
But yeah, this causes Heather to be like, I hate everybody. I want to go home.
Yeah, she does a lot here. I mean, I get she's at her breaking point, but it just feels like she really is doing a lot here. Where she's like, I hate them all, which I really feel like is her true feeling. I really do think she hates every single one of them.
Yeah, it was funny because like then we get soon after like her conversation with Taylor, and she's like, do I confide in Taylor? She might take it offensive that I called her cute. But honestly, like this is probably the person who maybe Jen, if she even gave Jen the time of day, but it doesn't seem like her and Jen really overlapping much in any like.
Yeah, even in like the social, like the breaking up of the two, like it didn't seem like there was any overlap in either one of them.
It's kind of all season, to be honest. Like we really don't have a lot of Heather Jen moments at all.
No, not at all.
It's only in groups. But she was like, fuck it. I'll complain to Taylor. And this is what I was referencing earlier, that we had a few times throughout this episode where like Taylor's one-on-one with people and she's like good at bringing out their best selves, but it's
Yeah.
not in like a corny way, but it's more just like, oh, thank you for getting them to be vulnerable, because
Yeah.
it's nice to see that after you have her like storming off and being like, I hate everybody. And
Right. She seems like a good friend.
yeah, but she's also like upfront about things. The way that
Yeah.
she told Heather, like, what'd she say? She thinks that people hold Heather in this regard because of her money, because Heather makes it seem like she's better than them because of this. And Heather's like, well, I'm not going to apologize for having money.
Well, and this is kind of what we said last time. I was going to say last week, but it was just like 3 days ago when we spoke about this, is that I just feel like she is in a different, I don't want to say class,
Echelon.
but yeah, I think I was going to use the word echelon too. I think like it's just so different. They're just in very different tax brackets, like we said the other day. So it's kind of like, this is why it doesn't feel like it works for me with Heather. Whereas like on Housewives, Lisa Vanderpump, Kyle, Dorit, Yolanda at the time, like all of these people were like as rich as the other person, Adrian. So it just like didn't seem out of place, where Heather just feels like she sticks out like a sore thumb. And that's why
Yeah.
everybody thinks she acts like she's better than everyone, because she kind of does act like she's better than everyone.
Yeah, she really does. And Taylor is probably the first person to put it to her in a way
Yeah.
where it isn't like attacking by any means, but it is very honest and blunt. And I don't know if Heather took away from it what Taylor wanted her to, though.
No,
Because
I don't think so at all.
Heather's initial response is like, well, I'm not going to apologize for having money.
Yeah, and that's like not the ask here. It's just like recognize that maybe it puts some people off
Yeah, there's a way you can,
or creates a separation.
yeah, have money
Yeah.
and not have it be your personality. And
Right.
being pretentious is Heather's personality.
Yes, very much so. Very much so. So they go to a shaman, the other group, and it just seems like the shaman just like makes Jen and Tamara friends again.
Yeah.
Jen, like, stand up here, I think.
Say it one more time.
Just,
It cut
she
out
just
for a
needs
second.
to like stand up and just like
Oh,
be like, you need to fucking stop. That's
yeah.
it. This is the last chance. Like a shaman didn't do anything. Tamara in a week is going to be doing the same shit that she was doing.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, bringing the only thing for me that really resonates with the shaman is like bringing Vicky to a shaman is like bringing a toddler to like a glass store. Like you were just
Yeah,
asking
I
for
know.
shit to get knocked over and be broken.
Yes, and I just love that she was like, "Well, I have two names, Victoria and Vicky." So I just was like, "Oh my god, just tell him your name." Like, what's happening here?
Do I take
She was.
off my shoes? But yeah, it gets you closer to the earth. But
She's.
shouldn't we be on the sand?
I mean, she wasn't really wrong there, I think.
No, but it's Vicky that says that. Like,
I
no one,
know.
everyone
I
else is
know.
just like, okay, cleanse me with your sage or
Yeah,
whatever.
but she's just not buying. She's not buying into it. And I think I would have been the same. I would have like, we're not on the earth. We're on a deck, a wooden deck.
Yeah. Oh, I would have thought the same thing, but I
Yeah.
wouldn't have said it.
Yes. No,
Vicky's
I wouldn't have
just
said it.
is just there. I mean, given
Yeah.
I probably would have going shopping and going to a shaman, like both of those things are things that I would not enjoy doing. I probably
I would go
gone,
shopping 100 times over.
I think I would just go back to the turtles, and see them
See,
again.
turtles, I don't think I wouldn't have wanted to do either one of those things, but I probably would have swam with the
Oh,
turtles.
I've gone parasailing. I would do that again. But
I
I'm
would
also
never do
big
that.
like I'm gonna go ziplining next week, and
Yeah.
you're like,
And
I
I'm
don't
like,
want
I'm gonna get
meningitis
from
So-
that. So no. Yeah.
You're like, I'll be in the shops, and I will be
Yeah.
zooming over
Shop,
you in
have
the
a
shop.
beverage. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I brought up Muse's
Yeah.
point, saying, I'm tired of the use and exploitation of spirituality and spiritual practices on Housewives franchises, especially when it feels like they are using it so flippantly.
Yeah.
Preach. Yes.
Yeah. It's a great point.
We
And they do. I think on this, well, I was gonna say on this series, I feel like they do it the most, but they kind of do. Like last season, I don't remember where they went, but they went in that hut, and they like I feel like
Oh,
OC
yeah,
is
they had to
notorious for
bring
this.
they had to bring gifts and stuff.
Yes.
Did they
Yeah.
bring like soda?
Kit Kats.
Yeah, it was something like they went to like the 7-Eleven down the street
and got
and
like Surge. I don't know
yeah.
if it was Surge. It's just the first soda that came to my mind.
Oh, Spirit, we bring you this classic 90s drink to appease you. Please watch
Yeah.
over us and bring
Yes.
peace to our friends.
Yes. Take this Surge as my offering. Yeah.
Yeah,
I agree.
there is a lot. I mean, I've already expressed multiple times that if I hear one more fucking sound bowl on one of these shows that
A sound bath too. Yeah.
yeah, I do think that like Jen's intentions of going to the shaman are aligned with who she is as a person.
It does seem like that.
But when then you bring Vicky Gumbelson to it. But she was like better behaved than I would expect Vicky to be.
I agree. She's not like how Ramona would have been.
Right. But it is something where like there is a lot of people that this type of stuff matters to them at a higher degree than it does to make it like a point of entertainment.
Yeah.
Especially knowing that's going to be a place where like people react in a certain way that makes it not like the value of the experience they're going on.
It
So
just feels like they're doing it purposely to poke fun at, or like see what kind of chaos and mayhem these women are going to bring to but like I feel bad for the people who perform these ceremonies and who like this guy is like an actual, he's not an actor, you know, like he's a shaman, and it's just rude.
I mean, Shannon went to the hospital because Kelly Dodd hit her on the head during something like this.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, the OC.
Yeah, they are the most notorious for this. For sure. For sure.
Yes. Oh, there's Nitro.
He agrees.
Yeah, he doesn't want any more sound baths either.
No.
He's mad at us just talking about it.
After this, they all meet up at this restaurant that's like in a tree. I don't know if it's a tree, but it looks like a tree. Is it a tree?
It's like a deluxe tree house.
Yeah, it looks like a very fancy tree house, man-made tree house. I guess all tree houses are man-made, but or human-made. They're not naturally occurring tree houses.
I don't know why this is where my brain went to, but it's like tree A meets with like tree B and it evolves to like, I don't know, maybe like a house slipped in there in the threesome, like a raised ranch. And now it's all of a sudden like a tree house is birthed from the dirt.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know. Like,
I would love that.
Man-made tree house.
Yeah.
Nah, the gorillas made that one out.
Yeah. The trees just formed themselves. They evolved.
Darwinism at its finest.
Yeah, really. But it looked cool. I wanted a treehouse so bad when I was little.
Oh,
I like
Barney's
dreamed of having a
treehouse. Like it might have been after you had stopped watching Barney because
I never watched Barney.
Yeah, I'm the oldest of three, so like even though I
was too old.
I think I like by the time Barney got a treehouse, I wasn't watching Barney as much as like
Barney had a treehouse.
My younger siblings were still in their Barney stages, but dude, he had a nice treehouse, man.
My treehouse idol was Bart Simpson.
Oh, yeah, Barney's blew his out of the water. Corey Matthews also had a treehouse that he
used Corey Matthews did. Yeah,
that's where he learned a lot of life lessons.
It's true. I know. They made it seem like in the 90s that every fucking kid had a treehouse, which like in reality, I didn't know anybody that had a treehouse. Did you?
No, my neighbors had like what would be as close to a treehouse without like being attached to a tree. It was kind of
like one of those like playhouses.
Yeah, but it was like built. It was off or like on. You know how like in Florida the houses are off the
like
ground,
on
like kind of like that. But it was, I mean, the size of, it was like half the size of the room I'm in right now. You know what I mean?
That's big.
It wasn't even that big. It's probably a quarter of the size of the room I'm in right now. You could fit like 2 to 3 small kids in there, like comfortably, like maybe. Yeah. But we didn't even use that much. It was just like an extra place to sit outside. I don't know. None of my friends had like legit tree houses.
Do you think that, I don't know, are kids Gen Z? Gen Z is too young. I mean, Gen Z is too old to be like kids. What's the younger
I don't know if the ones after them have like a generation name yet. I don't think that they've had like anything. They haven't like gained an identity.
Yeah, that's fair.
Let's
Do you
tell
think
us.
that they even know what a treehouse is? Did Gen Z dream of treehouses, or is this like a millennial thing? Like a 90s kid wanting the treehouse?
Oh, they do have a name. It's Generation Alpha,
Hate that.
2010 to 2024.
Yeah, like are those kids dreaming of treehouses right now currently? Did
I don't
Gen Z
know.
want? I need to know. I'm gonna put a poll on Twitter and say if you're Gen Z, did you want a treehouse
Yeah.
growing up? If you're between the ages of this and this, did you want a treehouse growing up? Or do you even like know what a treehouse is? I don't know. It feels like it was so present in 90s culture.
I don't think like COVID affected a kid's education enough to not be able to piece together what a treehouse is. But I'd be surprised. I've watched enough TikToks to see people say dumb things.
Yeah, I would never put anything past anybody. I'm gonna post it. I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna find out. We'll give the results next time
Okay.
of all 3 people that are gonna respond. Yeah, so they go to this restaurant, and I guess there is a way to walk around to the table, but for some reason, Tamra and Vicky and Jen and Shannon think that they have to walk across this netting that like does look like it's over the earth. Like it doesn't look like there's a floor underneath it. So I probably wouldn't want to do that myself, but the way Shannon is acting, like the waiter comes up and she's like, "Don't push me." It was like
The
so,
waiter
like, this man is not going to push you onto this thing. What are you doing?
He's also like minimally 4 feet away from her.
Yes, he is not even close. And she's like, "Don't touch me, don't push me." And I'm like, what is actually happening here?
Yeah, her and Vicky.
Yeah, well, Vicky was like, "I'm gonna go to the hospital if I do this," so I'm not. And Vicky like stepped on. I don't know. It was just so crazy. It was just so crazy. And then everyone's like, "Just what?" First they were laughing, and then it seemed like they got tired of it. The women that were already at the table, and they were like, just walk around the table."
Yeah, what was funny was at first when they got there, they're like, "Oh, are we gonna sit on this net?" And Gina was like, "We cannot because Shannon. There's no way Shannon would do this whatsoever."
And she knew, yeah.
And then here comes Shannon freaking out about people being within a 3-yard radius of her that they might push her onto a net that she wouldn't fall through.
Yeah, that was a lot.
Tamra and Jen though just walked like straight. Yeah,
they were just like
no questions asked.
Yeah, they didn't care.
Okay, Roadrunner, keep going.
I know. And we get to the table, and that's when Shannon just decides to be like, "So this thing you said about me at BravoCon," and then it just like everything explodes. And what I really want to focus on is Vicky leaving the table and saying, "I hate the way these women are speaking to Heather. They're horrible." She leaves and she starts to cry. She's like, "I don't want to be a part of this." She's talking to Heather and she's like, "It's making me cry the way they're talking to me. They're horrible." And I'm like, "What?" But the editors,
they flashed back.
They were like, she was like, the fighting, and I just don't like to be a part of it. And they put a 4-way split screen of different scenes of Vicky screaming at people in public. And it was just beautiful.
It was like the NFL red zone of Vicky screaming at people.
Yeah, it really was. It was. It was great.
Oh, phenomenal.
It was great.
I do have to say, and this might transfer us in a very few short moments into another conversation.
Okay.
But Tamra did something here that is why I think she's going to be amazing at the Traitors, is because she took initially the conversation was whatever, and then Tamra's like, "Oh, well, speaking of, didn't you say, Heather, that Shannon isn't all in on her relationship?"
Yeah.
She just like drops this little bomb and or not even a little bomb, just like pours a little gasoline and the fire erupts. And like imagine Tamra at the round table for Traitors. Like there's gonna be if they don't get her early, or if she is a traitor, I don't think she'll do it if she's a traitor. She might walk that close to the sun. I actually don't doubt that.
She's chaos.
Yeah. Just for her to like pour that gasoline and then just walk away. When I saw this, I was like, anybody who has been like, "Oh, I don't want Tamra, she's awful," blah, like, yeah, she is, but she is going to be phenomenal casting. She's going to be so good on this show. So good. And that was immediately where my mind went to in watching this scene.
Yes, I agree. I really want to talk about Traitors. I know we're almost 2 hours in, which I can't believe. We've only talked about 2 episodes.
But we had such
2
good
hours.
episodes
I
of
know we did.
television.
We really did. But basically, I mean, Heather says, like, by the way, I wasn't talking to Shannon at BravoCon. I was talking to Tamra. And that's, yeah, everything just gets crazy. And Tamra's like, well, you called them all losers. And I don't believe that Heather was lying when she was like, I was talking about Noella, because we saw the way she hated Noella last season. And honestly, last season was a bunch of losers. Like, they were all losers on last season. Everybody that participated in that season was a loser. One of the worst seasons of Housewives in very long time. But Heather was like, I'm leaving the trip. Like, I'm leaving. I'm over it. I'm leaving. But Gina got very upset and was like, you're my friend and you call me a loser. Like, I defend you.
So you think that she didn't call Gina and Emily a loser, or you do think she called them a loser?
No, I think she called them a loser. But I think she just said blanket, she's on a season with losers or whatever.
Yeah.
Probably referring to Dr. Jen and Noella.
Yeah.
But just made a blanket statement. Because she wasn't getting along with Shannon last season either. So she also probably included Shannon in that statement.
Yeah. No, I could agree with that. Tamra can lie. It's hard. Like, I do think that, like, when Tamra says something, it does come from a place of truth. It may not be the truth, because Tamra said, like, oh, I walked up and I made the joke, like, oh, you're with these losers. And as a way to, like, let Heather know, like, don't forget, I know you called all these people losers and now you're here, like, sipping tea, playing nice with them, you fake bitch, like, that type of thing. And so, like, other people not understanding if that is what happened, it makes it seem like Tamara said something, then Heather, like, when really there was, like, an undercut that no one knew about.
Yeah. Yeah.
It does make it messy even for Tamara. Like, why would you say that? But whatever. I wasn't there. And I'm sure Heather made
very
a comment.
trivial.
Yeah.
There's no way that, like, Tamra wasn't saying the same stuff about I mean, we know she was talking about last season. She had a podcast about it. So it's just, I don't know. It does feel very, like, harping on something for no reason, just to attack Heather. Like, it just seems purposely, their whole purpose is for them to attack Heather. That's the only reason why they're even having this conversation. And again, I don't like Heather, but I'm just like, I don't like it also when the whole group piles on one person. Like, it's just like, right, I'm over it.
And this is where we got, like, where we were kind of agreeing with Heather in the fact that Tamara's like, you said that she wasn't all in, and Heather's like, well, I might have said that, what I meant, like, she's having hesitations or whatever it was. And Shan's like, well, then don't say that.
She's like, to say that. Yeah.
Well, like, clearly it's what she meant. And when you're taking, all of them should know this at this point in their time as reality TV stars, like, if you're going to pull one sentence from a whole conversation with no context, how many times has that happened to you in a blog, in a TMZ interview, whatever? Like, stop it. But I mean, Shannon's at that a similar place to Heather, where, like, she's been the focal point of things. It's just that, I don't know. But it did make me, I wrote down, like, I kind of agree with Heather on the word police stuff.
Yeah, it's just, like, a little too over the top, I think. Yeah. But Heather wants to leave. And that's kind of where we leave the episode, really. Well, we get the Tres Amigas dancing on the bar together.
Do you remember, I think it was an episode 2 ago when, because Vicky shows up or to the trip, and Gina's like, oh, great. Like, she's never said anything nice about us. Like, I'm so excited. The 3 abuelas are here. Yeah. So when I saw them at the bar together, I'm like, oh, the Tres abuelas.
Yes. Well, they dressed up as old ladies one season on a trip, and they called themselves, I think, the Tres abuelas.
Oh, okay. It takes away from the joke.
Yeah, I think that was actually,
I thought Gina was witty.
I think, maybe I'm misremembering, but I think that's the case. But it was still witty. But Shannon was like, at least we're ending on a high note, and even though we're old ladies, we could still dance on a bar together. And I don't view them as, like, that old, but they do present themselves as old.
Yeah, it depends on the situation, honestly. Like, Tamara zooming across that net, not old.
Not old. But her hanging out with Shannon and Vicky and, like, dancing on a bar.
Yeah, who dances on bars anymore?
I don't know. It
did end with Heather being like, I'm going to prove that Tamara's talking shit. She apparently has.
Yes, she said, I have proof. I have
Mhm.
proof.
Yeah.
So we'll see what the proof is. I didn't see a preview because I watched it on Peacock, so I don't know what the preview. There was no preview at the end.
I've gotten good at because it'll always like try to transition into something else.
Yeah,
If
I've
you
gotten
click
good at canceling that too, but the preview doesn't come
cancel.
up.
Oh,
I didn't get the
mine
preview.
stayed. I watched it on Peacock.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't see it. All right, shall we?
Let's do it. I'm gonna pull up the cast on my
I have it.
phone.
I just pulled it up. Let's move into the Traitors. Like we said, this is a Bravo podcast, but there are a lot of Bravo Lebs on this season. Less than we originally thought, or different ones than we originally thought or heard.
That's because, first of all right, I have something for those of you who are on the reality TV corner of the internet
Yeah.
and are like retweeting like
Are you
Babes
coming for
by
Gamer Vet?
Bravo.
Oh.
No, I'm supporting GamerVev.
Oh,
actually.
yeah.
Like there's multiple people I saw like retweeting and sharing like this tweet from like some random ass Bravo fan account being like Candy, someone else. And it's like, if it doesn't come from the Twitter fingers of GamerVev, we don't believe it.
Yes,
like,
it's true.
GamerVev, and sometimes GamerVev is wrong, but they own their shit very quickly and like
and they'll correct it.
Yeah, and
like Boston Rob, they said Boston Rob was on, and then they immediately were like Boston Rob's not on.
Yes, and if you like follow challenge spoilers from them, you know that this happens from time to time, and it's not that big of a deal. But the people who are just like, oh my god, this person, because this random ass account that has Bravo in their handle, like, if you're gonna get in on this like part of being a reality TV fan, watch and learn. All right,
Right.
Don't
Take
go
a step back.
retweeting. Yeah. Like, there are some of us who are pros at
seasoned
this.
here. Yeah.
Some of us get subtweeted by people in this corner of the internet for liking these spoilers on any show. So like, just watch. Like, I got real mad real quick. Like, you fucking morons. Why are you listening to this?
Also, anyway. Sharon Tharp, shout out to Sharon, scooped GamerVev and gave the Parvati news before GamerVev even got a chance to leak it.
Yeah. But this is kind of like not GamerVev was kind of like reaching a bit in this. It's not.
Yeah, it's not.
I'm sure that they had some insight because we had some challenge people on.
Yes.
And if we didn't have challenge people, then we wouldn't have gotten as much.
Yes. I also find it interesting that Peacock announced the cast immediately.
Yeah. I kind of like that.
I like that too. Like, the challenge does not do that. They wait until it's like cast reveal day, and like Survivor doesn't do that. Like, there are a lot of like, what's his name? Dalton. Is that the Survivor guy? He will. Yeah, he'll leak the cast. Is it Dalton?
I think that's Redmond.
Yes, Redmond is the one I'm thinking of. Who has the cast like months in advance, and then we have to wait until it's time. And like, Survivor is just like randos for the most part, unless it's a returning season. So I like that they did this. I like that they're just like, yeah, these are the people that are gonna be on. Why not?
Yeah, and I think part of the reason that they can, because Muse said, like, I think that they were forced to.
Yeah, they didn't know what they were getting into with GamerVev.
Well, GamerVev and just like casting 20 reality TV people, and you have people like Larsa, who is putting on their Instagram story that they're going to Scotland.
Yeah, she's gonna do great.
You had quite a few people. I mean, but even what's his face from Big Brother that everybody's like jizzing their pants over that he's on the show. Yeah. He like announced on his like streaming channel, like, oh, I'm taking some time off. Like, dude, but like, I get announcing it, but at the same time,
I think he means like every day. Or every weekday, maybe.
Well, it's what kind of like why I support just saying like, hey, these people are going to be on the show, because so many of them are part of their like presence as reality TV people is being on social media. Like, Larsa has an OnlyFans. Whose feet are these people going to see while she's gone?
She probably has someone posting. She has a backlog of feet pics that she probably has someone like posting for her.
Yeah. And I think Muse makes a point too of like, it's just easier for them to be like, yeah, I'm filming this show that I'm going to be on.
Yeah.
Let's not keep a big surprise, but
totally. There's no need. Shall we get into it?
I was gonna say the other
Yeah.
reason is this is like such a shorter length show than probably
Yeah.
most other reality. It's probably like what, 2 weeks
Probably
at
2 or 3
most?
weeks, I would
I
assume.
can't
Yeah.
even at this point, do they even make people quarantine? Because like
They had a person who had COVID last year and they didn't shut down production. So,
that's true.
right? I
Yeah.
mean, as far as we know anyway.
No, I don't. It didn't shut down.
Yeah. So I'm gonna assume no, maybe. I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah. All
So we have
right.
a cast. Oh, you
Mine
said in
is
the chat that someone from Traitors Canada said that production filmed for 10 days, which is
yeah.
great. That's the right length. I heard The Mole filmed for like 6 months or something insane.
Oh, I think it was 2 months. I don't think it was
Oh,
6.
well, that's still too long.
Yeah. For your cast, mine is given in alphabetical order. Do we want to do that way?
Mine is also given in alphabetical order. We could do it that way.
Okay.
I'm on Entertainment Weekly, EW.com.
I'm on Deadline, but it's, I mean, the alphabet is the alphabet no matter what
It's
website
true.
we're on.
Should hopefully
So.
be the same. So we have a few people, some that I'm not like super familiar with, but I really want to spend, since we're Bravo focused, we could spend more time on the Bravo folks. But
Yeah.
a
Let's
long,
run
long
down.
time ago, we did host TJ Hates Quitters about the challenge, which we're doing this season, but Kari is only not hosting. She's been a guest. So we have Bergie from Love Island. I know people,
Yes.
you got to give me the scoop on this guy because I don't
Okay.
know. And we'll probably do, I would assume, a casting stream because we also cover the Traitors together with Javier.
Yes.
So we don't want to give all of our juice right now.
No.
You know what I mean? We got to.
Okay.
You know, we should probably reach out to him and do that.
Yes, I was thinking that earlier.
Mm.
I think the best way to describe Bergie is that, you know, that just like there's a saying that like nice guys finish last, and Bergie like went into Love Island as that guy, like has only kissed a few girls, but like played college football, like was just awkward. He's like from South Dakota. Like he learned a lot about people and just like growing into himself in Love Island. With that being said, he's gonna get eaten alive by 95% of this cast. So
good.
If you watch season 1, he's probably like most similar to like your Ryan Lochte in a way, but not as like
dumb,
doofy in a like he's like still doofy, but he's not like a dumb doofy. He's kind of just like lacks life experience doofy.
Okay.
Very nice. Like there's no reason to not like him, but like Johnny Bananas will eat this man for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah. I keep forgetting about Johnny Bananas. We also have CT from the challenge, who I'm very excited about. I know you're a CT girl.
My number 1.
I'm also a CT. Darrell is my number 1, but CT is my number 2. So I'm excited to see him. And he was rumored to be the 18th house guest for some reason on Big Brother. We never ended up getting an 18th house guest, so it clearly was not him. But I'm very excited to see him on the Traitors. We have Dan Giesling.
I know of him, so you're gonna have to.
He's an icon. I mean, he's like, I don't want to say arguably the best Big Brother player ever. He's the best Big Brother player ever. And if you haven't seen Dan's funeral, you should watch one of the many YouTube breakdowns of Dan's funeral. It's what he does is impressive. But season 10 of Big Brother is one of the best, if not the best season of Big Brother of all time. It's great. And everybody thinks he's going to be a traitor, but we have so many of these big reality TV personalities here.
I have another rant. I am so fucking sick of these people in this corner of our internet being like, oh my God, A, B, and C is going to go after D, E, and F because it's like, this person was so good on the show, blah, blah. Or like, this person has to be a traitor because they did this on their show. Shut the fuck up. Like, sincerely, just shut the fuck up. Like, I understand, like, I think there's a difference in so for example, taking what Tamra did in an episode of Real Housewives and being like, look how she did this.
Yeah.
That is
I would like to see what she's going to do
well. Versus like, this man has to be a traitor because he was this good at No, he doesn't. He doesn't have to be a traitor. Like,
yeah. I also think they're basing a lot of it on last season where it was half random people, half reality TV people. And Suri was, worlds above everybody else on the show, and she ate them alive. And to be honest, I think Suri is great and did a lot of really impressive stuff on the Traitors, but I think it almost, not that it takes away from like her legacy, but it's just like it was so almost too easy for her that it was not as impressive as I think it could be, in my opinion. But I think she's still great and she played an amazing game. Don't get me wrong. She deserved to win everything. Those people were blind. But I just don't think it's going to be the same case this season. There's too many big personalities.
I just think that like we're on this like Wattpad fan fiction shit way too early.
Not Wattpad.
That I just can't stand it. And unless you are giving me reasons for things, like I don't know, especially when we had the at a time we thought we had like Boston Rob, Sandra, and Parvati on the same thing. It's like, oh, these three are gonna like, no, you don't know that.
I know,
like,
nobody knows. They also could change the game. Like they could change,
right?
They could make the challenges actually mean something this time. Like we just really don't know.
There was an interview with, I don't know if you want to say like the showrunner or whoever, who said, and this was like a while back, that he's like, yeah, for next season we're gonna change things up. So you never know. And I just, it's one thing to like be excited because you've seen these people do things on reality TV shows, but then to like, this person is gonna do like all these exact things with the exact people, and this person's gonna go after this person. Why? Like what? Why? How do you? What crystal ball do you have, Miss Cleo? Like, tell me, what's your 1-800 number so I can call and find out a few more things? Like, shut up. Put Slack away, put Twitter away, put whatever away, and just, you know what, just enjoy it.
I know, and I also get annoyed when people are like, oh, these people from the challenge have no idea what they're up against. And I'm like, okay,
all the way off.
Let's relax.
You have like
these are the Mount Rushmore of, and I hate Johnny Bananas, but he is on the Mount Rushmore of the challenge.
Thank you.
You're not going to get better than the two people, unless Wes was also on the show. You're not going to get better than these two here from a strategy standpoint, from a social game standpoint. Like, it's just not. Dude. It's just not. You're not playing with a rando from the real world who's never been on a strategy show. These people, this is their actual career. They're playing against people who played Big Brother 1 time, 2 times. Like, it's different. I mean, maybe not. I guess Big Brother, we have Dan and Janelle who have played multiple times, but still, like, it's different. It's just different.
I can't wait for us to get to, is he listed as B or J? He's listed as J, okay? For Johnny Banana.
Is it
just Bananas or is it Johnny Bananas?
Yeah, it's Johnny. Okay, well, let's keep going down the list.
I don't know anything about Deontay Wilder.
Nor do I, other than the fact that he's a boxer.
That's awesome. But I am ready for Ekin-Su.
See, I don't know Ekin-Su because I don't watch Love Island. But I know a lot of people are very excited about her.
Ekin-Su came out the womb to be on Love Island. She is the epitome of, so she's an actress first and foremost, but like she had such good lines. She was so good at just being like goofy. Her couple she was like interested in, they broke up, and Davide from across, he's like, you're a liar, Ekin-Su. That's not a good accent. I'm like fucking Meredith out here. He's Italian, not French. That sounded more French, but like just the way Ekin-Su, like chef's kiss, was born to be on Love Island. And so I am excited to see her on the show just for the fact of like, she's entertaining. I don't know if she's going to be good, but she's going to be entertaining.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm in then. I'm good. I'm ready to see it. We also have Janelle.
Tell me about Janelle, because I know people are excited about her. She also, like, during last season was like, I want to be on the show.
Yeah. She's a reality TV. She just like she'll like do anything. She just likes the TV. She likes to be on TV. I feel like she like sees these shows, just fun doing them. But she's a Big Brother icon. She's played 4 times. She's going to make good television. Yeah. Wow. She's like, I would say she's similar to Rachel Riley, but I don't like Rachel Riley and I do like Janelle. Although her political opinions are not aligned with mine. Let's just say that. But she's good TV. And she keeps up with Big Brother. She's come in 3rd 2 seasons in a row, and then she also played season 14. She's played with Dan, and she played Big Brother All Stars, but she went out early those 2 seasons. So we'll see what she does. But she has a big personality. We'll just say that.
Okay.
Yeah, but she's very popular, especially back in the day.
Yeah, she shows up on my timeline a lot.
Yeah, she has a lot of hot takes on Twitter about.
I saw people yell at her about her Little Mermaid.
Yeah,
vibe
yeah.
action.
It was like I said. Yeah, she's
So
a lot of hot takes.
Johnny Bananas.
She played Snake in the Grass too.
Oh, she did? I need to watch that show.
No,
I haven't
you
watched
don't.
any
It
of the
was so
episodes.
bad.
Oh,
it was
okay.
so bad.
Yeah,
watch
but I
just
like
the Suri episode, and that's all you need to watch.
Okay.
The Suri and Janelle.
I'll probably watch
Rachel Riley.
everything.
Yeah,
because that's what I do. But
it's really bad.
I'll get there.
You really do not need to watch. Every episode is self-contained.
Even the chat.
Yeah, don't
do it.
Don't. Johnny Bananas.
All right. I know we've kind of said it. First of all, I am most disappointed in the challenge fans. And like, you don't have to be a Bananas fan, but the amount of people I've come across who are like, oh my God, this cast is going to be so great. But like, I kind of don't really want to see Johnny Bananas. Fucking why?
No. We've been saying for years, there have been rumors for years that Johnny Bananas was going to be on a Celebrity Big Brother or Big Brother. He was also rumored to be the 18th house guest this season. Like, people have been clamoring to watch Johnny Bananas play another show, a game like this, because he's only played the challenge. We've never seen him do anything else. I mean, he came from the real world, but like, he hasn't played a strategy game like this before.
I just think that like, we have seen this man do so many things to further himself in the challenge, and the challenge changes formats every season as well.
Yeah.
So like, you might not like this man as a person, but a lot of reality TV people love Johnny Bananas. Yeah. He is like well liked in the reality TV world. And so I'm just bewildered by people who are challenge fans who are like, ugh, not Bananas. Like, I am enthralled to see Johnny Bananas on this show. Yeah, I want to see how he does. In all honesty, like, am I rooting for him to win? No, because I'm always going to root for CT. But like, I could see him like burn the bridge down on his way out, and like, I could see him doing a whole ton of shit. I think he could be really good. I think he'd be really bad. I am so interested in seeing this, and so especially challenge fans who aren't interested in seeing him, I'm disappointed in you. I'm not even mad at you. I'm disappointed in you, because like, what do you want out of a reality television show? This is one of the best casts ever. And like, honestly, Johnny Bananas deserves to be on there. So I am excited. You might hate him. You might end up loving him. I feel like a lot of first-time Bananas people will be like, oh my God, I love him. And then like, as
you don't know the real Bananas.
20 years of your life, then you're like, fucking Bananas.
We know who he really is.
Nonetheless, he's going to be entertaining, and I'm so excited that he's going to be on this cast.
Well, the thing is, we have, and I said Mount Rushmore before about Bananas and Wes. We have Mount Rushmore players of Big Brother. We have Mount Rushmore players. We literally had, well, Boston Rob, I guess, isn't actually on, but like, there were stone statues created of Rob and Sandra. Like, these are all timers from these shows. Dan is the best Big Brother player. Janelle is arguably the most popular Big Brother player, you know, aside from Dan and like Dr. She's up there in that conversation. So it's like, why wouldn't we have Mount Rushmore challenge players? He is the face of the challenge. He is the challenge at this point. Like, he's a villain. Nobody likes him. Most people don't like him. He has fans, but like, yeah, he's an asshole. But like, to see him play with these other reality TV greats, he deserves to be in the conversation.
Yeah. I literally had to stop replying to chats that we are in, because people were saying such dumb shit. And my biggest issue was like people's opinions of Johnny Bananas being on the show.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm happy to watch it. We have John Burkow from
what the fuck is this?
The UK Parliament, formerly, I think, of the UK Parliament.
Yeah, he apparently has some like
so weird
catchphrases that like British people know. Like, if this is your effort to get the UK to watch our version of it, Sue is enough. Like, Sue is enough, I promise.
When we do our official, this is like unsanctioned, non-sanctioned.
Yeah, this is off the cusp. No prep.
But when we do our actual, I'm sure we'll do a draft of this cast. We will get more into it. Mm-hmm. We'll do a research. Same with Kevin from Bling Empire. I don't know Bling Empire. Is it a Netflix show?
Yeah, it is. I don't know anything about it.
I'm unfamiliar. So we'll find out more as we go. Larsa Pippen, back to Bravo. This is a choice to me, because I'm like, out of every housewife We're picking Larsa Pippen.
I think
And she's coming in with her boyfriend, the son of Michael Jordan,
Marcus
who
Jordan.
she was the son of Michael Jordan.
Right. So I said Marcus.
Yeah. Oh,
That's
Marcus.
his
Yeah.
name.
I thought. Yeah. Which just doesn't make any sense. Why do we need Marcus Jordan and his girlfriend? And there's a lot of controversy with this relationship because Scottie Pippen played basketball with Michael Jordan. She was married to Scottie Pippen. A lot of people are like, you knew this kid when he was a baby. And she's like, no, I didn't. But like, come on, really? You didn't? You didn't really?
I don't think it's like awful to have someone like Larsa on the show because I don't think she's going to be like she's going to be all vibes. You know what I mean? Like
Oh,
she's coming
all
in this
vibes.
all vibes, and so I think she can like add some like levity, or she's going to be a pawn for like some of our other strategic players to
Yeah.
use. Um and the fact that like I think it almost makes it more interesting that her boyfriend's gonna be there because I would love more than anything for what like make Marcus Jordan a traitor and make Larsa
I
faithful
would love it.
to see what happens. Like let us see. Let us
We had
see.
that relationship on season 1 or the first season of the UK.
Yeah.
And that created one of the best episodes of the whole season. Whole season.
Yeah, when he was just like, well, I won't say anything because the last time I talked about UK, people
Yeah, you're
yelled at
gonna
me
get in
for
trouble.
spoiling it. It was on
Yeah.
a fucking year ago. Like, get over it. So
Yeah.
all
We
right.
have Max from Dancing with the Stars, brother of Val. Don't care.
Same.
Couldn't care less. We have MJ from Shaws of Sunset. Are you a Shaws of Sunset watcher?
I haven't
I
watched
am.
it yet.
Oh, she's gonna be a mess, and I'm ready. I am ready. I'm very
Perfect.
ready for her. Shaws of Sunset. She's like, I mean, she's Reza's best friend, but sometimes not friend, sometimes enemy. Now I think they're friends again. I don't really know, but if you enjoyed the one episode we got of, sorry, I don't want to spoil.
Okay.
If you
From
enjoyed
here
Reza
on out,
on the Traitors
yes.
season 1, then you will enjoy MJ, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Then we have Parvati, icon, Survivor icon, another four timer.
Probably.
Yeah, I think 4 times. Survivor winner. She's an icon. She
I think
doesn't
she'll do
hesitate
well.
to play hard, and I'm excited
No.
to see it. I'm excited to see it.
I think she can do well. If
Yeah.
anything, she's going to be interesting to watch. She's not
For
just going to.
sure.
That's like I think what's going to be one of the good things of this is I am on the record 9,000 times saying I hated how it was a half and half season.
Yes, me too.
Last year, and that given I would prefer to see 20
normies.
normal people because
Me
if you
too.
watch any of the international versions, they deliver. I think like it adds an extra layer of complexity that so many of these people have pre-existing relationships.
Yeah.
But
Especially Parv and Sandra.
yeah.
They have a little drama.
So I at least am like confident that people are gonna just play and we're not gonna get people sitting back waiting for things to happen. And if we are, there's gonna be like enough people playing that the few who are just kind of like overwhelmed by it are gonna it's not gonna affect things.
Yeah, exactly. Peppermint from RuPaul's Drag Race. I'm not a Drag Race watcher. I'm overwhelmed by how many seasons there are, so I haven't jumped in. So we'll do our research unless you're familiar.
No, I've watched like 1 or 2 episodes of a Drag Race, and like I'm not saying anything negative about drag or anything like that. It's just like not a show that I enjoy.
Yeah.
I completely 100% support drag and drag queens and the whole concept of it. It's just not for me.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, but Muse made a point that I agree with.
Yes, everyone is super excited.
Yeah, a lot of people are excited. So I will trust that.
I'll watch some YouTube videos.
Yeah, I don't trust their opinions on bananas, but
yeah,
I'll trust that.
We also have Peter Weber, former Bachelor, Pilot Peter. This guy is such a loser that I just want to watch him go down in flames.
You can't say that about a pilot.
I know. I really hesitate. I wish I didn't say that because I have to fly soon, and now I just gave myself anxiety. I feel like I put a hex on myself. Figuratively, not literally.
I don't know. He's after my like bachelorette time, so I don't know
He
much.
chose a girl and then changed his mind.
Oh, isn't that what Ari did too, though? And that's what we had
No,
last
maybe
season?
he didn't change his mind. He chose a girl and then got rejected, so he went with the other girl. I don't actually remember, but his mom was like very involved in the whole thing. His mom was like part of the show. It was like a lot. I actually don't remember, but there was like drama with the final two. I think maybe he chose one and she said no, so then he ended up going with the other girl.
All right.
Something like that. And then he ended up dating another girl from his season who he had a pre-existing relationship with before she came on the show. So it was like a whole mess. Phaedra Parks, she's going to be great to watch.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's going to be good at the game, but she's going to be great to watch. And I'm ready.
I think she will be.
Yeah, I think she will be too. She's basically a con artist in her life. So she's made for this.
I think people will underestimate her.
I think so too. And I'm excited to see her reunited with Sheree.
Oh yeah, that'll be interesting.
Yeah, totally. Sandra is my all-time favorite Survivor. 2-time winner, a queen. I love her. I love everything about her. And I can't wait to watch her play this game. I love her.
I have one Sandra question that I'm afraid to ask.
Tell me.
So why didn't anybody like jump on her back like they have about other people when she went and hung out with like Gabler at his ranch? And there was someone else that was there.
I didn't even know she did that.
Yeah, I saw a picture and I was because after I watched 3 seasons of Survivor in a weekend, got a lot done. I went to Gabler's Instagram and there was a picture of like him, Sandra, and there was one other person who also like their views align more with Gabler, I think, and I was like, why didn't I see an outrage on Twitter about this? Let's keep the same energy. But anyway,
I didn't know that.
I'll find some more. I will like prove it factually before I present a fully fledged.
Are you gonna ruin Sandra for me right now?
Listen, I don't want you to not know, and then like
that's fair. I appreciate the heads up.
Because I saw it and I was like, how come I didn't see like any discourse about this? Because if it had been almost 90% of the rest of the Survivor players that had done that, it'd be like, oh, so blah, 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 you're hanging out with Gabler, blah, blah, blah. Like, so I was like, interesting. I know some people who would be on their like highest horse otherwise.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I was unaware.
So I will find it and I will show it to you.
Okay. We also have Sheree, who I love.
Yeah, I hope she wears all of her clothing line the whole time she's there.
She will. I'm sure she will. I'm excited to watch her play this. I don't think she's going to be good at it, but I'm just excited. And I hope she causes drama. She is a mess in the best way possible, and I just love everything about her. Not everything, but
she's not going to be good at this game.
No, she's going to be terrible. She's probably going to be the first one out, I would think.
Holding court with the Queen, Big Ben, and
not Ben
in Boise. I told you it was someone else, and I couldn't remember. There's pictures. Yeah, listen, why don't carry me, Sandra? Her. I didn't decide to hang out with Gabler and Ben on a fucking dude ranch.
Well, I didn't have a heads up that I was about to have to hate Sandra. I'm not ready.
I'm gonna retweet this right now.
Oh my god!
No comment necessary. I'm just gonna repost.
Oh my god. Okay.
So
Tamra Judge. We kind of talked about it a little bit, but I'm ready. I'm here to see Tamra. She is like a Johnny Bananas to me. I don't like her, but she's a necessary evil.
Yeah, I think she is going to be one of the most fun players. She has a lot of Kate vibes, which is not a hot take by any means. I think like Kate will be the funnier version of the two.
Yeah, but Tamra's not that funny.
I can see Tamra pulling a Kate and like just being like, fuck this mission, fuck you. I'm going to try to vote for myself, but can't. Like,
yes, I can see that for sure. And I think a lot of people also, I've seen the hot take of like, oh, these Bravo people don't know what they're getting themselves into. I think people forget that Kate carried the entire season last season.
Yeah.
So, and Brady Glanville and Candy Burris are from Bravo. And Candy Burris arguably is one of the better, if not the top 3 celebrity Big Brother players. I'm upset that we actually aren't getting Tamara. I mean, Candy, because she's good at this stuff.
I also just think it's so short-sighted for someone to say
Yeah.
like, oh, this person makes their money currently from being a housewife, so there's no way that they could be good at a social strategy
Right.
game.
We also saw
Like,
Ari get to the end of the Traitors over Cody, Rachel Riley, Steph LaGrossa, like all these people who have played these games multiple times. Ari from The Bachelor got there
yeah,
over them. And it's not like in the same way that Quentin and Andy got there.
right.
Like Ari played the game for the most part.
Yeah, he definitely, I mean, he played. He wasn't the best player, but he definitely
No,
played.
yeah,
So
I
yeah, I
mean, he
just
has
think like,
tried.
yeah, the people who are like, oh, the challengers don't know what they're getting. So the Bravo people, like, politely, it
Right.
I don't want to say it doesn't take a lot, but it also we're not asking them to go and score 20 points against LeBron James
Right.
in a
It's like
one-on-one basketball game.
almost a random game.
Yeah, like that's like saying like, "Oh, you're a firefighter. Well, you will never ever win a game of Monopoly in your life because you don't have a business degree." Like, what does it mean? Like, it's
Right,
fine.
right.
It's
Yeah.
there's really no correlation. If anything, we should just be happy that we have people who are comfortable being on camera and we don't have like Andys and Quintons this season.
Oh my God. Thank God. Thank God. Last but not least, we have Trishelle from the Real World, Las Vegas, also from the Challenge. I'm excited about Trishelle. A lot of people, this is maybe she's before some people's time. She's not like present day Challenge. She's old school, but
She was on a recent All-Star season though.
she was, yeah, she was. She's good TV, and I'm excited to see her.
Yeah, she actually kind of has like a lot of Tamara vibes, to be honest.
She does, yeah, she does. She definitely does.
Um,
I could see her
so
clashing with Parvati, maybe.
I could see them never interacting with each other.
Also fair.
Yeah.
Also fair. So that's our Traitors cast. I'm excited. We are
We-
going to be covering the show.
Yes, absolutely.
So whenever we have a date, I know they're filming now, so hopefully we get it soon. But we'll be covering Canada as well. So
Yeah.
signed, the Traitors will be back for Canada, and for this U.S. season, of course, we couldn't miss it especially with this cast. So I'm excited.
Yeah, it's a good show. I need to go and catch up on the Australia season that just happened and the New Zealand season that just happened, so that when we
Same.
start podcasting about Canada, I can spoil it all for you in the first episode of our podcast.
Yes, I
Haters.
haven't watched either, but I will watch both.
Yeah.
All right. I know we have an end of Big Brother. I mean, oh my God, an end of Below Deck. But we've been at it
We've
for
talked
2.5
so
hours.
long. Yeah.
No one's even probably listening at this point.
Yeah, it's fine. We can
Like if
we
you
can
started
talk
from the
about it.
beginning, you're probably not still here. So we
Yeah.
can talk about it next time. It was not super eventful, so
Right? It's like typical end of season shit.
yeah.
So,
So Laura said that Traitors is slated for January.
yeah, perfect.
So that's great.
That's not far. They are on a better production schedule than Summer House and Winter House. So
Yeah, for sure.
That's nice.
For sure. Kari, anything to promote for you as we wrap it up here?
Yeah, you can see Gabler tweet about hanging out with Sandra and Ben on my Twitter that I just retweeted with absolutely no comment or context at KGD26.
I can't wait to see the responses that you're going to get to this, if any. Any.
I'm waiting for people to like hate on me.
Yeah, you're going to
like,
activate a couple of people, I think.
And honestly, like maybe just take this time instead of tweeting at me to have a bit of introspection of like, if you're gonna come at me with this energy, I didn't hang out with Gabler or Ben. Do you know?
Right.
Like,
right.
So just saying, your faves are out hanging out with literal goats, not even the Survivor goats. So you can see that.
I would go hang out with a goat. I like goats.
I'm actually wearing a shirt right now that says
with a goat on it.
No goats, no glory.
Oh my God.
because the Hartford Yard Goats are a minor league baseball team in Connecticut. And I saw this shirt and I had to have it because it's
It's a
just
good shirt.
funny.
It's a
Yeah.
good shirt. It's a good shirt.
Yeah.
It's a good shirt. It's a good shirt.
So no goats, no glory. But yeah, otherwise, KGD26, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. You can see the TikTok that I put up of me and Nitro trying to walk home from dog daycare. That's really all the only interesting things I've done have been retweet Mike Gabler and walk my dog.
Well, those are two interesting things, in my opinion. You can find me at RealSlimKatie on Twitter. You can find me at Twitch at twitch.tv/RealSlimKatie with an underscore at the end. Thank you, everybody, for who came in from my Twitch stream. And if anybody new, I don't get alerts. It's like not a normal setup here. So if anybody followed, subscribed, anything like that, thank you guys so much all for your support and your generosity as always. I appreciate you all. And yeah, you can catch me. We're not doing Big Brother tonight. Everybody had a conflict, so we are pausing for tonight, and we will be back next week. But it's okay because there was no eviction, and there was a double eviction where no one went home, and there's no head of household, there's no veto, and there's no one's getting evicted on Thursday. So we'll have plenty of time to catch you all up with everything.
Wait, no one's getting evicted on Thursday?
No.
When are they?
Someone's coming back into the house.
Oh,
so
right,
we're getting 2 weeks of non-eviction episodes. So
I don't know if you saw last night. Because I follow through Twitter, as I've mentioned. So I was like, as a non-Big Brother fan, can someone please explain to me, or that like follows the show through Twitter discourse, can someone please explain to me like what happened? Because I shadowed / helped host my first trivia night last night. Future trivia host over here. They said I did great.
I have no doubt that you did.
When they asked if I've emceed anything, I didn't want to be like, yeah, I podcast about reality TV. So I'm on a microphone more than I probably should be.
I think it counts.
I told them that I taught math, so I basically emceed algebra for. I MC squared algebra. Oh, anyway, so but yeah, I had to have people explain to me because I could not figure out from like the Twitter comments and everything like what exactly happened.
Yeah,
and it's so strange, but people jumped in. Strange. Thanks, Nikki. Thanks. I can't remember if it was Steph or Isabel, one of the twins that helped me. But yeah, I was like, oh, this seems like a wasted week.
Yep.
No. This wouldn't happen if we weren't in a writer's strike. They would get rid of this week.
Gotta stretch it out as long as possible, I guess. Pretty disappointing. So you'll catch us next week. And we still won't have an evictee, so we'll see what happens. I guess we will have one person who ended up remaining an evictee. And yeah, that's all we have going on here. The challenge will be back. We've just had a couple of scheduling issues, and Josie had some technical issues last week. So anyone or this week, I'm just like confused because this is our second
because we're second one this week.
Yes, but we recorded on Monday, and we said we were going to do the challenge right after, and Josie had computer issues, so we ended up not doing it. But we'll be back soon, and I think the season is wrapping up soon anyway. There's only a couple more episodes, so that's it. Thank you everybody for being here. I think as of this week, we're going to also create our own podcast feed. So if you subscribe to Sound Podcast and you want to just get what we have, just search for us, Pod What Happens Live. I'm probably going to set it up either tonight or tomorrow, so it'll be there. So check us out there, and yeah, we'll see you guys next week.
Yes, a week from tomorrow.
Post bingo trip.
I better just come on here making it rain all the dollar bills I win from bingo.
Me too.
I've never won bingo. I've never won.
You've never won. Well, maybe
Dude, it's like
this will be it.
It's the worst relationship I have in my life. I've been playing it since I was 18. Like Connecticut has a massive bingo hall at one of their casinos, and I've never won. I've played bingo for a long time.
I think this is your time.
I'm hoping. My boss was like, don't win. I don't want you to quit your job. I'm like, buddy, student loans start in a couple days.
No, bingo's not going to.
Girl's not going anywhere.
Your job money. No. All right. Well, thank you all so much. And we will see you next Saturday.
Yes.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.